and believe me, all of us here at WYMC can't wait for the football season to kick off. Well, the Pike County Bowl has as much tradition as any of the bowl games played this time of year around the Bluegrass State.
26 different teams have been a part of the Pike County Bowl over the past 15 years. You can add 6 more to the list when Boyd County, Boyle County, Elkhorn City, Phelps, Pike Central, and Shelby Valley take the field over the next 2 days. They are all becoming a part of history. Since its inception in 1985, the Pike County Bowl has seen its share of standout talent. The first MVP of the bowl was Cumberland quarterback Freddie Maggard, who went on to a stellar career at UK. He shared the MVP award with Belfry's Anthony Tackett. Speaking of Belfry MVPs, no one has won more Pike County Bowl MVP honors than Pirate running back Micah Cottle. He shared the award in 1995, 1996, and 1997. Last season, Belfry quarterback Jonathan Wright was a Game 1 MVP. Over the years, the Pike County Bowl has seen its share of classic matchups, like 1987, when Pikeville and Beechwood matched up. The game was suspended by lightning, but the Panthers would get their rematch in the postseason on the way to a state championship. Pikeville was also involved in a not-so-classic game that happened in 1997 when the Panthers lost to Ashland 70-28, the biggest blowout in bowl history. Still, the Panthers are only second to Belfry in overall Pike County Bowl victories. They've won 7 games over the 14-year history. Belfry has won 9. The only team to lose its only 2 appearances in Pike County Bowl action, that's Harrison County. They fell victim to Belfry in 1986 and 1995, the last one a 28-0 blowout by the Pirates.
A big gain by Cottle. He's going to go all the way, folks. 30, 20, 10, 5, 6 points.
Of course, Todd Richards always excited to see Micah Cottle run to the end zone. You know, one state record was tied in the Pike County Bowl. It happened back in 1994. Paris's Maurice Garrett returned a fumble for 103 yards. That tied a record first set in 1985. 103 yards on a fumble recovery is a record that still stands. Well, enrollment numbers are dropping at Belfry High School, so the Pirates are forced to compete in Class 2A. The move down in class doesn't mean the quality of football will drop in the Valley.
Well, the Belfry Pirates reached the Class 3A title game in 1979 and then again under Philip Haywood's guidance in 1985 and 1986. Belfry finished as the runner-up on all 3 occasions. Since then, the Pirates have continued to slash their way deep in the playoffs. This season, Jonathan Wright will once again carry a sword in one hand while releasing the football with the other in hopes the Pirates can continue cutting down opponents. Last year, the Belfry Pirates were involved in one of the most exciting playoff games in recent history. Unfortunately for the Pirates and their crazed fans, Belfry came out on the losing end when Sheldon Clark's Mo Spradlin scored the game-winning 2-point conversion to give the Cardinals a 16-15 win in the regional championship. 1999 is a new year, and when listening to Belfry practice, you get the feeling the Pirates are ready to do what it takes to reach a 5th straight regional title game.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's been going good. Our kids have been here every day, and they've been working hard, have a real good attitude. We've had a lot of fun with them. We're young, and we're going to make some mistakes probably early in the year. But sometimes with youth, you have a little bit of fun, too, and there's some good enthusiasm and good motivation in practice.
Well, if you ain't enthusiastic, you can't play. It's just part of the game. You got to like what you're doing.
Well, we're working real hard, and we're trying to pick up the tempo and, you know, get to where we need to be come Pike County Bowl.
The Belfry Pirates are locked and loaded for the upcoming football season. Jonathan Wright will once again be under center to drive the offense, but the Pirates realize to journey hands in the Valley will be packed because scatback Curtis Childress returns to the backfield. Derek Pauley figures to lead the receiving crew, and Jonathan Wright should continue developing into a top-flight quarterback.
Well, he's come a long way from the beginning of last year to the beginning of this year. and he works hard at being as good as he can be. And yesterday we were looking at some film and still looking at some little things that we need to improve on. But he has come a long way. But this passing game is as much a team-oriented thing as anything. I mean, everybody's got to know where they're going on routes. You've got to know your checks and how to handle blitzes and things like that. So he studies the game, puts a lot of time into it mentally as well as physically, and hopefully he'll continue right on this year where he left off a year ago.
Realignment has sent Belfry down to Class 2A. The district opponents change, but the tough schedule remains. The Pirates have their sights set on Louisville, and early season dates against Boyle County, Ryle, and Lawrence County will let Belfry know if their scope needs adjusting.
We don't like to overload it, but at the same time, we like playing some good competition early because I think it lets you know right off where your weaknesses are and where you have to improve. And this is something we've done for years. I don't know if it's by choice or just because that's who we end up open dates at the beginning of the year. But that's kind of the way our schedule's worked. And it's worked pretty good for us. We have to play hard early, and we find out real quick what we have to improve on. And it probably speeds our development a little bit through the course of the year.
The Pirates begin the hunt Saturday night when they face Boyle County.
They're a big football team, have pretty good size. We know they've got a couple of backs that can really go, and a wideout that has a lot of speed. So they seem to be pretty potent and do a lot of good things on offensively and defensively. They're a well-coached football team, and we'll have to be well prepared when we go into the game.
Outstanding camera work by Brian Milam at Belfry practice. It was a lot of fun. Well, the Belfry Pirates went 8-5 last year and came within 1 point of winning the regional title. The Pirates lost 16-15 in overtime to Sheldon Clark in the regional championship. Belfry has reached the regional final in each of the last 4 seasons. The Pirates are 44-20 over the last 5 years and have not lost a district game since 1995. This year, the Pirates will play in a new district and a new class. Philip Haywood and the Pirates, as mentioned earlier, are stepping down to Class 2A. Senior quarterback Jonathan Wright is fun to watch, and he will guide the offense for Coach Haywood, who enters his 16th year as head coach in the Valley.
Well, the last school we will take a look at tonight has traditionally been the best in Pike County. Over the years, the Pikeville Panthers have been the pride of the Big Sandy region, winning 3 state titles in football. So in 1999, they hope to close out this decade the way they closed out the 1980s with the state championship.
When John Chapman took over the Pikeville Panther football squad, he brought with him an offensive package which led Breathitt County to consecutive state titles in 1995 and 96. In their first season under Chapman, the Panthers marched down the field, filling the air with long bombs to a myriad of receivers, racking up more than 3,000 yards. The main target of the aerial assault was Jeremiah Akers. Number 33 led the state in receptions with 90 and receiving yards per game. For the Maroon and White, the second year under this offense should be even more fruitful.
We got a new system last year, and, things may not have been as well as we know it now. And a lot of the team knows the system and what they're expected to do and stuff. And instead of having to come out and knowing starting something new, we got a year on everything, and we really know what the coach wants in us and really how to play as a team together in the system.
But in the second year of this system, the Panthers will have a different look. Gone is All-State QB Ben Howard, so for the upcoming season, Pikeville turns their focus to a new quarterback, Matt Branham. Last year, Branham was in the secondary, but as he begins his turn as the field general, he will look to distribute the ball to a host of receivers.
But we got a lot of other people. You got Matt Walls that come in here, a newcomer, and Nick King and Barrett Rogers. They're all good. You got a lot of different people to throw the ball to.
But what about the receiving corps? How will they adjust to a new quarterback?
Quarterback change isn't really different. Matt and Ben have really the same technique and same ability. Matt's a little younger, than he still has some learning to do about reading defenses and everything, but ability and strength of the arm and all that, it's just about the same.
Pikeville's defense, though, may be the key to their success. In the 3 games the Panthers lost in 1998, the defense gave up an average of 44 points.
The defense is going to play a big part. Offense is going to be there. We got the people that can run and catch the ball. No question about that. As long as defense comes through, we'll win ball games.
Led by a brand new passing attack in 1998, the Pikeville Panthers made it to the regional championship game. In 1999, Pikeville hopes to return to that championship game, and this time maybe go a step further.
As a team, our goals are much higher than a regional championship. We want to go, of course, to the state playoffs, and maybe even the state championship, and to play at Louisville and to actually win the state championship. And that's really our team goal for this year.
However, first things first, the Panthers begin the '99 campaign in the Pike County Bowl facing Boyle County. So what do they know about Boyle County?
They got some big boys. They got that fifth-year senior back.
All I know is they got a fifth-year senior.
That LeFew guy, I don't know what his first name is.
He's being recruited by a lot of colleges. And
that LeFew guy, I don't know what his first name is.
I'm ready to go out there and play and see what he's got.
But one name everybody knows is Pikeville. They have participated in every Pike County Bowl since the first one back in 1985. And for those who play in the game, it's a great way to kick off the season.
Pike County Bowl is a real rich tradition around here. And I mean, I've grown up watching it since I was little, watching my brother play in it, and watching Pikeville play all the teams. And sure, we play Boyle County, and we're really fired up about going out there and playing them, and we're real excited about it.
Well, since 1987, the Pikeville Panthers have been the premier program in the mountains. They have 3 state football titles and a runner-up finish in 1991 to their credit. They also were the state runner-up in 1979. Last year, the Panthers finished with the season with a 10-3 mark and losing to Middlesboro in the regional championship game. Pikeville is 50-16 over the past 5 seasons. Their last regional title was won in 1996. John Chapman enters his second season as Pikeville head coach. Last season, wide receiver Jeremiah Akers was second in the state with 1,586 yards receiving. Akers will be a senior this year. New quarterback Matt Branham will be the man under the center. Sophomore Barrett Rogers should be one of the main threats. Also coming out of the backfield, and guys, you heard Akers and Branham talking about that LeFew player. Well, they're talking about Bobby LeFew. He has sat out last year because of a surgically repaired ankle. Jeremiah Akers said he wanted to see what he's got. Well, LeFew will be easy to spot. He stands at 6'6", 230 pounds. The reports say he runs a 4.6 40. Not too bad for a guy his size, and obviously being recruited by several Division I schools.
Well, let's take one more look at the matchups. On Friday, that's tomorrow night, the Pike County Bowl gets underway at 6 p.m. when Phelps and Pike Central hook up. Now, in the nightcap, Elkhorn City will play Shelby Valley. Kickoff for Game 2 is slated for approximately 8:30 p.m. Both games will be played at Pike Central High School. I'll be out there to see both of those. John.
All right, Rich. Then on Saturday, Day 2 of the Pike County Bowl begins at 6 with WYMT's live telecast of Pikeville versus Boyle County. The final game of the 15th annual Pike County Bowl will pit Belfry against Boyd County. Kickoff there scheduled for 8:30. Both of Saturday's games will take place at Pikeville High School. Well, believe it or not, the football season has finally arrived. We've had a drought in Kentucky, and we've also had a drought in football around here.
Well, finally kicking off the new football season. Want to get in a quick closing shot here. The Pike County Bowl, it's always tough.
My grass takes a beating. What the grass needs is Turf Builder. It pumps it up, it rejuvenates it. You gotta feed it. Fall is the best time of year to put down Scott's Turf Builder.
For action as big as Texas, the address is CBS.
The Browns are back, and we've got your ticket in the Dog Pound for the Chicago Bears game August 28th. Tim Couch will definitely start this historic game. It's the Browns and the Bears, and you can watch it from the Dog Pound. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to sit at the Dog Pound. This game will not be broadcast on TV. Call now, 1-888-550-6684 for your ticket to the Cleveland Browns, Chicago Bears. Sit in the Dog Pound, have a great weekend ticket.
Register to win a new 3-bedroom, 2-bath Fleetwood home during the Home for the Holidays promotion at Affordable Housing Mart on Highway 80 in London and on Highway 25E in Corbin.
Community Trust Bank, your source for loans, equal housing lender.
You're watching WYMT TV, Hazard, Kentucky.
The following is a presentation of Mountain Sports.
Pikeville has historically been one of the top football programs in the state. They won 3 state titles from 1987 through 1989 and annually met the Beechwood Tigers in the state semifinals. But the Panthers haven't won a regional title since 1996. After a 5-6 season in 1997, the Panthers opened up the offense last year to the tune of a 10-3 record. This year, John Chapman begins his second season at Pikeville with a pro-style offense. Matt Branham will be the trigger man, and the state's leading receiver from a year ago, Jeremiah Akers, will be the main target. The Panthers kick off the season against Boyle County. The 15th annual Community Trust Bank WYMT-TV Pike County Bowl, sponsored by Food City, is on the way next.
Sponsored in part by Gary Johnson, attorney at law, J&M Monitoring, Bruce Walters Ford, Vanover Hall Bartley, attorney at law, Accordia, Food City, Cardinal Automotive, Community Trust Bank, Love Home, Southeast Marine, San Antonio.
The 15th annual Pike Bowl. John Lewis along with Jim Frazier. Jim, great weather for a football game here today, and a lot of excitement surrounding the Pike County Bowl this year, not only for the expanded field, but for, again, a showcase of talent out here on 2 nights, Friday night and, of course, tonight on Saturday.
You're exactly right. Not only talent coming from eastern Kentucky, but talent across the state as well. What a great game we've got this evening. Boyle County comes in with a top-notch coach, a top-notch program right there in Danville's back door, and they're looking to do some damage, you know, and a great chance for a state title this year. And Pikeville also, with second-year coach John Chapman, can he get it done and perhaps bring a state title again to Pikeville? So we should have an excellent game this evening.
I think we will. Also on the sidelines today will be Rich Johnson. Let's go over to Rich and check in with him.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Rich Johnson on the sidelines, and yes, you are correct. The Pike County Bowl got underway on Friday night with 6 teams being involved in this. They had to start it a day early. 2 games taking place at Pike Central last night. Shelby Valley winning 46-12 over Elkhorn City, and Pike Central logging a 46-0 shutout over Phelps. This year, with all 6 teams involved in Pike County, everybody's pretty excited about this. And this year's participants talked about the new look Pike County Bowl. The change.
Well, it's a new concept, and we think it's going to be a real good one. We still have the 2 games on Saturday night with Belfry and Pikeville playing on Saturday night, but the other 4 teams in Pike County are going to be going against each other in a bowl game format on Friday night, and it's going to allow all 6 schools to participate. We're hoping for better coverage, better publicity, and better revenues. And Community Trust Bank has been our sponsor for years, and just does a fantastic job in putting things together for us, and we really appreciate them and all of our other sponsors in assisting in this bowl. It's been great for eastern Kentucky. It's been great for football in Pike County.
Pike County Bowl's a real rich tradition around here, and I mean, I've grown up watching it since I was little, watching my brother play in it, and watching Pikeville play all the teams, and sure we play Boyle County, and we're really fired up about going out there and playing them, and we're real excited about it.
So Matt Branham, the new quarterback for Pikeville, Jeremiah Akers, the state's leading receiver last year, 2 players to watch for Pikeville. As for Boyle County, number 27, Bobby LaFew, the 5th-year senior linebacker, a player to watch for Boyle County. Now up to John and Jim.
All right, thank you, Rich Johnson. Again, a great day for football. We're about 13 seconds away from kickoff of the Saturday Game 1 Pike County Bowl.
How about the Bermuda field out there, John? Looking great here. Pike County Bowl, always a showcase for outstanding talent, and the showcase for a tremendous facility here at Pikeville.
Absolutely. A lot of great fields here in eastern Kentucky, and this is certainly one of them. Boyle County won the toss, and they have elected to kick off. Pikeville will receive. Deep back for Pikeville is Chase Rogers, number 22, and number 30, that is Barrett Rogers, the sophomore, who stepped up big last year as a freshman for Pikeville. And here we go. We are kicking off Saturday Pike County Bowl action, Pikeville versus Boyle County. And that is Chase Rogers, and he takes the handoff, and he takes it. And he is taken down about the 25-yard line. So that's where Pikeville will work out of. And here comes his first offensive unit, led by quarterback Matt Branham.
Well, certainly when you talk with the Pikeville coaching staff, they talk about one of the strengths for the team being in the system for the second year. And you see here they come out with no huddle. And, of course, Pikeville primarily a team between the tackles with Hillard Howard. Not quite the same with Coach Chapman.
That's right. Branham making sure everybody is in sync and ready to go. He'll be back there with Barrett Rogers. Branham back to pass, like you said, swings it over to Rogers, and Rogers.
That's a lateral.
That's right. It's a lateral pass. A swing pass there, still a live ball. Barrett heads up there to jump on it.
It was the first kind of situation where you have a problem there, just trying to get things going. You're looking to maybe come out with the no huddle, and the offense doesn't execute. And certainly, and I think right now we're going to have some different signals. Almost thought it was a timeout signal, but no. Coach Chapman giving the signal into the quarterback, John.
The audible signal, almost like a timeout here. And again, Branham back to pass, and he hits his man there. That's Nick King, and Nick King is taken down immediately by Boyle County.
So far, Pikeville just unable to get the execution going. That time, excellent coverage downfield and really no one to throw to. You're set with third and long yardage down here, down deep.
It's going to be about 3rd and 25. Ball there on the 10-yard line. Again, the signal there. Check out the 4 wide that Pikeville's going to run right now with Barrett Rogers in the backfield there with Branham. Branham back to pass. He hits his man. That's number 33, Jeremiah Akers, one of his favorite targets, the flanker there. He's not even close to a first down, though.
And special teams play, certainly big in any type of football game. You want to try to eliminate the mistakes, more so in football, I think, than in a lot of other sports, John, particularly early in the year. It seems like the team that makes the fewest mistakes winds up victorious.
Matt Walls is going to be back to punt this one off. He'll be punting from the 10-yard line. They're going to go for the punt there. The single back there to receive is Brandon Francis. Francis has the ball, and he takes it up, and he's taken down just across the 40-yard line near the 35.
Boyle County sets up shop. Excellent field position, and you know, Boyle County, a 2A team in Danville's back door. We talk in the open, but they had a great year a couple of years ago, 11-1, and last year they slip up a little bit, 7-5. But Boyle County, a team that really has turned the corner with Coach Chuck Smith. It's his 8th year there at the school, former University of Kentucky player.
The quarterback for Boyle County is number 5, Jeff Duggins. And a play-action fake there, reverse over to number 40, Matt Miller, and Miller get a few yards out of that one. Nice play.
Chase Gibson does not leave his defensive end slot over there and makes the stop.
I think a lot of people might expect Boyle County, if you follow them at all, to come out and pass. Last year, quarterback Bart Johnson and Timmy Bass hooked up quite a bit. Bart Johnson threw for 2,775 yards to Timmy Bass, one of his favorite targets. 74 receptions last season for him. Unfortunately for Boyle County, both those guys lost to graduation.
There are some question marks.
This time Duggins was in the shotgun there. Handoff inside, close to the first down, is number 34. He is Matt Quinn.
Always a great crowd here at the Pike County Bowl, and I just see some Cleveland Browns jerseys on the back of the fans as they come in, and that's okay here in Cincinnati Bengal.
That's right. No problem this year with an Eastern Kentucky quarterback. 3rd and 2 now. He didn't quite get across the first-yard line, and that's going to go ahead, and that will be first down and a little more. Fumble on the play there from Matt Quinn, and it looks like Pikeville has recovered. Let's see what the official signal is.
I don't know. I think he might have fallen on it. Let's see. Nope.
Pikeville has recovered the ball, and here they come. Another chance. Well, one of the guys that we're going to have to watch here again is Matt Branham, who got his first work in just a few minutes ago, number 12, the quarterback for Pikeville. We'll see what he can do again, and, you know, he's got that first series under his belt. It's time to shake that off and come in here and hit a few guys.
Exactly, but once again, the elimination of the mistakes. Here, Boyle County with the chance to do some damage early, but they put the football down.
4 receivers set for Pikeville. Ricky Lane back there. Not Ricky Lane. That'd be Matt Branham back there to pass. Hand off, actually. He hands it off and taken down quickly there by the Boyle County defense.
Already you can see that Boyle County has big-time quickness in their front 7. Able to shut down the gaps, and at one of the things I think that all teams hope to accomplish, solid defense early. You know, the defense a lot of times able to get things in sync in a better respect earlier than the offense.
And when you come in to face an offense like Pikeville, you have to make a defensive statement early. Roll out here from Branham, looking for a man downfield, overthrows Chase Gibson. That will be incomplete.
Good coverage downfield by number 16. That's Boomer Johnson, and 27, Bobby LaFew. Boomer and Bobby all over the receiver, so pass a little too tall.
Well, Bobby LaFew is the guy we've been talking about, a fifth-year senior. He's back after a severe ankle injury last year, considered one of the state's best defensive guys, linebacker, certainly a Division I prospect. He says he's looking at Tennessee, and UK is also looking at him, as is Louisville. He also has what we would call a little brother on there. He's Travis. He's a lineman. He's 6'4", 270. I don't know how much of a little brother that would be.
Baby brother.
That's right. Branham again back to pass, and he swings it over. Complete down to Jeremiah Akers near the 50-yard line, taken down right on the 50, and that will bring up first down. Good job from Matt Branham to hook up with what will be his favorite target, more than likely, Jeremiah Akers.
How about this no-huddle offense that Coach Chapman employs, of course, formerly at Breathitt County, and Mike Holcomb using that. You know, we talk about the past history of the Pike County Bowl. I want to get to a point here in just a moment, John, about that past history for Coach Chapman.
This time, shotgun for Branham again. Over to Jeremiah Akers, in and out of the hands.
But, you know, a lot of times you build championships, not necessarily from the top, but from the bottom. And Breathitt County came in here, I'm not sure, I believe it was like in 91, and they got shellacked pretty good. As a matter of fact, they were on their way to a 1-9 season. And a lot of guys, a lot of people maybe would sort of fold the tent after the 1-9, but Breathitt County certainly didn't do that. They came battling back, and, of course, 2 state championships.
Exactly. Throw to the sideline there was to Nick King, and that one goes out of the hands, incomplete, and that will bring up third down. Looks like they're going to call this one intentional grounding.
Motion. On the red.
I was going to say an intentional grounding call. Wouldn't have made a lot of sense because he had Nick King look like he was open there, but it will be a motion play, and that will be a penalty for Pike. That penalty will be declined, so that's going to bring up third down for the Pikeville Panthers and 10 to go.
And this gives us an opportunity to get the officials for this evening. Referee is Chuck Smith, and field judge Darrell Crossway. Umpire is Dave Arnold. Head linesman is Ken Ellis, and the back judge, P.J. Doyen. And those guys do a great job in the northern Kentucky area.
Barrett Rogers back there with Matt Branham in the backfield, 4 wide again for Pikeville. Almost a play action there. Over to Akers. Akers is in trouble, and he's scrambling. He reverses his field, coming around. Back across the 50, across the 45, and in there. It looks like he might be short of the first down. There is a flag on the play in the backfield. And let's see what the call will be.
Clip on the red.
So a clipping call, and that'll nullify a great play there for Matt Branham and Jeremiah Akers.
Well, you know, John, I'm going to have to apologize. I don't know how many times I'm going to call you Keith throughout the course of the year here, but Keith and I always liked it when we had the referee mic'd up because we didn't have to take that chance to sort of pontificate as to what the actual call might be. We've got our man mic'd up, Chuck Smith.
It always helps to get it straight from the horse's mouth, the guy who's going to make these calls today.
Another third down and long type situation, and that's not what Coach Chapman wants with this type of offense. Obviously wanting success on first down. Let's see if maybe they can try to get the ball to the big guy, Chase Gibson. He's been running free.
As a matter of fact, Branham is looking that way across the middle. He just misses Jared Frazier across the middle there. So that's going to bring up a punting situation for Pikeville.
I think we can already see Boyle County with an excellent defense, but you just don't know what kind of effect the heat will have on the teams throughout the course of this game. It's going to be quite difficult in the gear to keep your wind about you, so we'll see what type of substitution patterns both teams might employ.
Once again, Boyle County going for the block. Only one guy back there, and that's Boomer Johnson to receive the punt there. They're going to let him go, and Boomer Johnson's going to watch this one take a Boyle County bounce, and it'll be down. So Boyle County will be working there from the 35.
Boyle County, tough schedule early, John. They play Pulaski Southwest next week, Danville the week after that. Then they hit Harrodsburg, one of the top teams in Class A, of course, doing battle with Lexington Catholic this evening. And Lexington Catholic in their district schedule starts right after that. So Coach Smith said...
All right, we got a timeout here. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back with more Pike County Bowl action after this.
People from all over eastern Kentucky like shopping the Cardinal no-hassle way. Larry, what makes shopping at Cardinal different?
Cardinal knows that vehicle shopping can be an ordeal. We go out of our way to make it as convenient as possible.
I've noticed your sales staff is very professional.
Yes, they are, but they're very personable. We really stress excellent service at Cardinal.
Well, Larry, I've also noticed your selection is huge.
That's right. You can shop a big city selection right here in the mountains, and you'll save. Shop Cardinal Automotive in Hazard for the best in selection, service, and savings.
Hi, I'm Jim Patton, president of J&M Monitoring of Pikeville, Kentucky. We've been serving the mining industry for the past 12 years, and we've learned a lot about acid mine drainage treatment. This is one of the most innovative systems that we've designed yet. This system will change the way we think about acid mine drainage. Give us a call at J&M Monitoring today. 606-432-1910.
No score yet. Pike County Bowl action here. Pikeville taking on Boyle County. 7:39 left to go in the first quarter. And Matt Branham, the quarterback for Pikeville, hooking up a couple times with the guys, but still no way to get toward the end zone just yet for him. He'll shake the cobwebs off pretty soon. Boyle County now on the offensive. That's Jeff Duggins over the middle there.
Yeah.
And complete to number 27, Bobby LaFew, the guy that we've been talking about, who's one of the top linebackers in the state and certainly a decent tight end there, looks like.
Yeah, well, you know, of course, Chuck Smith, one of the outstanding coaches in the state of Kentucky. And, you know, a lot of times they've been hit pretty hard by graduation.
Right.
As you mentioned, and looks like we do have a flag there.
Yeah, they're
on the
moving
play,
this one
John.
back.
I did not see that, but perhaps holding in the area where that might be.
They're moving this one way
Motion.
back.
On the way. Replay first down.
So that's a 5-yard penalty, 1st and 15.
And once again, why didn't I just wait for Chuck to go ahead and give us the signal? So that's the way that works. But, you know, you lose a lot of players. Sometimes that hurts you more offensively than defensively. That last play there looked pretty good.
Duggins working under center. Hands off over to his man. He's running down across the 40 and taken down just inside the 45. That's Matt Quinn, the running back.
Nice block, or at least absence of block, from number 40, Matt Miller, for Boyle County. As he was sort of out there in the flat, had he pushed or made some type of block, they would have hit him with the clip, so he just sort of stands in the way. And that was my kind of block, sort of just stand in the way and hope that it proved profitable.
Duggan's going to work from the shotgun this time. Inside handoff there. He's going to run it out across near the 50-yard line. Extra effort's going to get him a couple yards near the 50 there. And that looks like Casey McCoy with the carry.
Good blocking point of attack there, and opens up the hole. A little delay, and you know, Boyle County coming out with some wrinkles here as they come out in the gun. You know, certainly I think football across the state has improved in the last 2 decades, the 80s and the 90s. And point we'll get to here in a moment, but Pike County Bowl, a big part of that, John.
Absolutely. And as you mentioned earlier, a showcase for a lot of teams. Play action here. Duggins across to LaFew. LaFew's got a first down and much more. Finally taken down, and that's going to be a face mask, definitely, on the defense. LaFew with a first down and much more, and they're going to add a little bit more to that because that was a face mask.
Well, that was baby brother.
All right, you got it.
No, excuse me. I believe that was Matt Quinn
face
on the
mask.
reception.
On the red.
Of course, in high school, they don't call out the number of who was the offending party, but it doesn't matter. It's against Pikeville, no matter who it was. And that'll add a few more to LaFew's run.
But, you know, if you look at high school football here in Kentucky. You know, this year we're going to produce 2 of the top Heisman Trophy potential candidates. You know, when you've got Redmond that, of course, played at Mayo and now playing at U of L, and Sean Alexander, Boone County superstar, and rolls on in to play for the Crimson Tide. Tim Couch, outstanding last year.
Absolutely. Ball on the 20, and that's Duggins. Back to pass. Oh! I do not know how he held on to the ball. He took a hard hit, but he's going to take that one just inside the goal line. What a hit there by Jeremiah Akers.
Well, that one was one for the highlight reel. I mean, what a catch. And let's take another look at it here.
That's Boomer Johnson, the great reception.
Yeah, he waits patiently up in the air, and then Jeremiah Akers says hello. Topsy-turvy, pulls it in, but a flag on the play. And this son, I was unable to pick up the flag on the play.
Hey, fellas, get in here. Pass interference on the way. Loss of down. Second down.
Well, a big break for Pikeville there as the offense is called for pass interference. 6:15 left to play, no score, and it's going to be 1st and 25 for Jeff Duggins, the quarterback for Boyle County. 4 wide for Boyle County.
He's done a real good job rolling out and finding receivers. Let's see what happens.
Another rollout here, across and complete down on the 25-yard line.
That moving pocket, John, you can't quite get the bead on it as you might just dropping back. And this is Duggan's first year as a quarterback, and he's getting the job done so far.
Absolutely. And I think that might have been our favorite player, Robbie Vox. His last name is Vox. He spells it V-O-N-C-K-X. Duggins again. We're at flag on the play. Could be a free play across the middle, complete to Lefeview. Taken down inside the 10. Not Lefeview. That would be Josh Morgan. We'll see what the call is.
I think you're going to have movement on the top of the screen there. Looked like tight end moved a little early, and certainly the call came from the line judge. That's his area.
Now, Boyle County indicates it's going to be against them.
We have motion on the way. We have pass interference on the way.
For the second time in a row, pass interference on the offense.
Well, they're running pick plays, I believe, down in the secondary and just got caught a couple of times.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 15 for Boyle County. 5:24 left to go. No score so far in our first action here of the Pike County Bowl. Pikeville and Boyle County kicking off Game 1 of Day 2. This year, the first year of 2 days of Pike County Bowl action here at the Hambly Complex and also at Pike Central High School.
This is a beautiful complex. See the baseball field, swimming facility, football field, basketball just behind us. Tremendous community involvement here in Pikeville to get things done. So we sort of already set the record for 3rd and longs here, and it looks like maybe a quick kick type. Well, we lose down on the play. They took the pass interference call, so therefore losing the down.
And Boyle County a little confused on it too, as Duggins had to run to the sideline to bring in the punter.
Great kick. Goes into the end zone.
So that'll be a touchback for Pikeville, and they'll have to work from their own 20.
That was a nice little official situation there for early for us, but Pikeville refuses the motion penalty and accepts the interference call, which thereby loses the down.
Brought up 4th down, and we've been 4th and about 30 for Duggins to work out of. So probably a good idea that offensive unit ran pretty quickly over to the sideline to bring in the punter. It will be on the 20 for Matt Branham, the quarterback.
Of course, Branham in his first year as a quarterback.
And he's back to pass again. Not shy about that passing offense. In and out of the hands of Nick King. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Talking with the Pikeville coaching staff, they talk about the fact that this is a bright group of kids. They know their assignments. It's just going to take practice to make the execution to where it's more reaction than thinking, John.
Well, you had Ben Howard in there, and I don't think Matt Branham is trying to live up to Ben Howard. In fact, Jeremiah Akers told us earlier this week that Howard and Branham, pretty much the same style. Scrambling there, and Branham was in trouble that time. And he is taken down by Matt Quinn. I continue to want to call out Bobby Lefew's name because he's going to be one of the top linebackers around.
Exactly. 34, Matt Quinn, 6 foot, 185 junior, comes up from his defensive end slot, and just good, solid defense by the Boyle County Rebels. They've got good coverage, and their front seven is really beating Pikeville right now.
3rd and 14 situation for Branham. Gets it away just in time and overthrown, but we do have a flag on the play, and it could be pass interference on number 20. That's Casey McCoy. We'll see what happens.
Of course, we just had some of the officials up here talking with us and going over the situation. There is no uncatchable ball rule in high school, so this will be pass interference because unless they rule that both players were going for the ball, let's see.
Pass interference on the white.
And Branham looks like he may have hurt an ankle or twisted an ankle out there. He's a little gimpy right now. See if he'll be able to stay in there. Looks like he's going to.
You know, football, one of the sports I think that over the years has worked to sort of better itself from all levels. You know, high school usually takes place on Friday, college on Saturday, pro on Sunday, and there are some different rules, and that's one of the nuances of the rules there. There is no uncatchable ball rule. That pass couldn't have been caught, but you still have to throw the flag.
Handoff inside.
Ooh, man.
And another flag on the play. Some hard hitting going on early on.
Looked like big number 76, Justin Nichols. 5'8". Excuse me.
It'll hold on the red.
Well, you can always tell the first game of the season when your offense comes out there. Obviously, a new quarterback and some new guys working in new positions. They just got to get used to things, and you're going to get a few early season penalties.
Right. Those Pikeville Panthers, coached by John Chapman in his second year, ably assisted by George Chapman, Jason Howe, Chris McNamee, and Mark Wheeler.
Of course, Chris McNamee, now an assistant coach, was the head coach last year. Pike Central played here at Pikeville. He's certainly a defensive standout for the Panthers from 84 to 87. In fact, he has 16 career interceptions as a high school player.
Yeah, the McNamee name, certainly impressive Pikeville football history.
Branham, happy feet, going to throw it across the middle. Chase Gibson, it's complete, close to the first down.
Great throw into the seam there, John. He threw it over the linebacker and in front of the defensive backs. Gibson with a good route finds that seam. And, you know, certainly right now, I like the way Matt Branham is throwing the ball.
I don't know if the coaches like the way Matt Branham is walking up to the line of scrimmage because he's having some definite problems there. Pronounced limp he's got going on right now after taking that hit in the backfield earlier.
Second and short. Do you try and throw it here, John?
We'll see what the call is from Chapman. No, they're going to hand it off inside, and he is stopped way short of the first down. Barrett Rogers, a sophomore, hit hard inside.
That was Bobby Lefew, 27 on the top. And looked like 68, Travis Lefew. Brother and baby brother come at him with about 500 pounds combined. No first down. A lot of times, coaches will take a chance on that second and short, figuring you can get it on third down.
Well, yeah, you're that close to the first. I mean, you're on 3rd and 1. You might as well try it. High formation the first time we've seen Pikeville run out of this one. And let's see what happens on 3rd down. Boyle County defense. They're going to have to take a timeout now. Branham's hoping for a penalty against Boyle County. It didn't happen, but we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back. No score yet. Pikeville and Boyle County.
If you've been injured in an accident, you'll face many difficult decisions. One of the important decisions will be selecting a lawyer to help you. Before deciding, ask the attorney to show you their trial experience, their national ratings, and national board certifications. I'm Gary C. Johnson. I've worked more than 24 years building a reputation helping injured people. I invite you to compare because the lawyer you choose makes a difference.
Call Gary C. Johnson for a free consultation. Someday, when he grows up, Sammy Matthews wants to be just like his dad. His dad likes to listen to the radio while he shaves. So does Sam. His dad likes the crisp freshness of the fruits and vegetables he buys at Food City. He likes the variety and selection, too. So does Sam. His dad likes broccoli. Well, someday Sam's taste will grow up, too. Food City for quality produce priced the way you like. Because at Food City, we mean value.
Pikeville facing 3rd and 1 here in the first quarter. 2 minutes, 12 seconds left to go, and Pikeville looking for a first down against Boyle County and still looking to score against Boyle County. Shift in the offense. Branham is going to move back under center. I formation. Hand off inside, and it looks like a first down there
I tell you,
Pikeville.
There was some hitting in the trenches that time, and, you know, this game developing into the slugfest.
It really is.
I mean, they are going to be hitting one another up front there, and you wonder who's going to be able to execute the big play first.
Jared Frazier there, the guy who picked up the first down for Pikeville. Branham still in there. Maybe we don't want to ever speculate on an injury, but he's certainly walking with a little limp, and hopefully he's had some time to recover. Complete over to the sideline to Nick King. He gets a few yards on the play.
About a 5-yard pickup on first down. And, you know, Pikeville really hasn't had a lot of success on first down so far. Boyle County able to recover quickly, and that's what speed does for you in this game, John.
The 47-yard line, the spot of the ball. 2nd and 6. Under a minute and a half left to go in this first quarter. No score yet. Branham looking to pass. Moves up to the line of scrimmage. He's going to have to tuck and run, and he is taken down, and he may have lost a yard on the play.
Well, they sent your man, Matt Quinn, in on a blitz that time, John, and he comes up with his second sack of the evening. Big play on second down, you know. I mean, this is the kind of thing that you would think that you would do with more experienced defense, sending players from different angles and so forth. But Boyle County really only returning a handful of starters and able to do some things sort of like the mid-season package.
Absolutely. Lots of shifts in the defense so far. Here they come again after Branham. Branham is in trouble. Breaks one tackle, and he is taken down again, and that'll be 4th down.
They kept coming with everybody. Then on the safety blitz, they had to send at least 4 guys that time, and sometimes you try to do that and make the big play defensively rather than offensively.
Well, Branham's still in there for 4th down and 7 with 18 seconds left. They may just try to run out the clock, but the clock stops at 18.2, and looks like Branham's going to go in there and try to go for a 4th down or try to draw them off sides.
Yeah, they really won't run another play, John. That's going to wrap it up. A hard-hitting first quarter, and you got to believe maybe Boyle County with the scoring opportunity. They lay it on the ground once, and then some penalties negate the second opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, that's the end of the first quarter. No score between Pikeville and Boyle County. We'll be back with the second quarter after this.
I just want to celebrate, When you drive a Ford truck, you're ready for whatever the world brings on. Now you can celebrate that feeling of confidence during the Ford Authorized Clearance. We're moving out the 99s to make room for the 2000s. That means financing as low as 0.9% and up to $1,000 cash back on your favorite pickup. I just want to celebrate, yeah.
Celebrate the thrill of owning a new Ford truck now at your best quality Ford dealer.
Does this sign concern you? It doesn't have to. I'm Jim Patton, president of J&M Monitoring in Pikeville, Kentucky. Did you know that all public buildings built prior to 1980 have certain materials which are presumed asbestos containing? We are licensed asbestos inspectors, management planners, and abatement contractors. If you have suspect materials in your building or you require any level of asbestos training or hazardous materials training, give us a call, 606-432-1910.
Welcome back to the Hambly Complex. I'm Rich Johnson. No score as we begin the second quarter. The Pikeville offense has been a bit stagnant, but new quarterback Matt Branham is prepared to take over the position formerly held by Ben Howard.
It's pretty big one. He's a great player, got big shoes to fill. Just hard-nosed player. Try my best just to pick up where he left off. I love it. Better to play quarterback than anywhere. I've played that since I was 4th grade, always, through Little League and everything.
Quarterback change isn't really different. Matt and Ben have really the same technique and the same ability. Matt's a little younger. He still has some learning to do about reading defenses and everything, but ability and strength of the arm and all that, it's just about the same.
John, Jim, the offense is hard to master but easy to keep track of. The offensive and defensive game plan is written on a laminated card that Coach Chapman wears around his neck.
All right, so, a lot of coaches will have that on their sleeves, but I don't know if I've ever heard one of a coach wearing it around his neck. All right, thank you, Rich. Boyle County's going to work here from the 16-yard line after the punt.
Well, you see all the new facilities and the technological advances that they have here at Pikeville. The laminating machine, John, and why not? The crowd beginning to grow here.
Another handoff there for Boyle County as they try to grind out a few yards.
Another big crowd here at the Pike County Bowl.
It really is, and that's a good thing because, Belfry, of course, coming over here in Pike County, but even though they're in the county, still kind of a drive for them. But, Belfry fans will turn out anytime, and some Pikeville faithful always on hand for the Pike County Bowl. In this age of passing, you really, passing's popular again in all levels of football. But I tell you what, we've seen 3 yards in a cloud of dust more times than I can count today. And once again, handoff inside, just hard-nosed football for Boyle County.
Some good hitting going on. And both teams really giving it the big effort. Did he give the first down signal there? I believe he did. We may have an injury on the field.
He's got an injury timeout. Hard to see who it is from here. Rich Johnson tells us it is number 55. He is Brandon Isom.
6'2", 220
looks like
lineman. And, we talk about Boyle County's schedule, but, just difficult out of the gate. When I talked with Coach Chuck Smith, he said, ask me in 4 weeks, and I'll tell you exactly how good we are. And certainly, I think you need to play the better teams to get better.
You have to play good teams early in the season and to get better for postseason. And you look at a lot of good news there for Brandon Isom. He's walking off assisted, but mostly putting some pressure on that leg. So hopefully he'll be okay. But you look at a lot of schedules and you'll see these weak cream puff teams early on for some teams. And you know what? When they get to the postseason, if they get there, they sometimes get wiped out in the first half because they just didn't play anybody. And that goes, I'm talking high school, college, and professional. I mean, obviously, the pros don't have much to do with their schedule, but when you set up a weak schedule early, you're going to be a weak team later on. Nice reverse there for LeFew, and LeFew's going to take it. For a big guy, boy, he can fire up that sideline.
Well, there are some wrinkles early in the year, and I asked some of the folks, will Bobby LeFew get his hands on the football? They said, oh, no. But we see there a little bit of the misdirection as he's inserted into the offense.
Another flag on the play, though.
Let's see. They're going to march it off once again.
Hold on the offense.
Penalties really putting a stifle on a lot of the drives for Pikeville and Boyle County.
Yeah, they are, and they're sort of slowing down the game in that regard. Just
on the offense. Replay first.
Excellent job by Chuck Smith, the referee there, giving us the signals. Other members of the crew, Darrell Crossway, Dave Arnold, Ken Ellis, P.J. Doyen. We couldn't do it without the great help we get from the officials all across the state, John.
Absolutely. They have a job that a lot of people don't appreciate.
Yeah.
Nice play action there over to Quinn. And he is taken down at the 40-yard line.
But he's not taken down before he gives out the big lick. I tell you, a little massage on the 40-yard line.
Let's correct that and make that Matt Miller on the reception.
Whoa. Good hitting going on in the Pike County Bowl. I tell you what, there is some hitting going on.
I'd say there's quite a bit out here on the field now.
Hitting.
10:35 to go here in the second quarter. Still no score. Penalties killing both offensive drives. Another misdirection play. And the Pikeville defense stayed at home, but another flag on the play.
Just can't quite get the rhythm going.
That was McCoy on the carry again.
On the offense.
And that's going to be a hold against Boyle County. Let's go down to Rich Johnson on the sideline.
Well, guys, the injured Pikeville Panthers, number 55, Brandon Isom, the 6'2", 220-pound junior defensive lineman. They're applying some support to his right knee area right now. We'll get an update later on that.
All right, thank you, Rich. Hopefully he'll be able to be all right and get back in this game. It's really bad when you see players that have to go out with injuries at the first game of the season.
And I tell you, and how about Rich Johnson down there in the suit, the tie? I don't know if he'll need the water break later on, but good job on the sideline.
Absolutely. Again, shotgun. Look at that. He just lobs it over across the middle there and taken down short of the 40 for Boyle County. He was just kind of holding the ball up there saying, yeah, I'm going to throw it. Here it comes.
Pikeville, good job defensively staying at home, not falling for the misdirection, and negates the big play opportunity for Boyle County.
6 yards on that play, 2nd and 13 now with 9:45 left to go in the first half of play. No score. Penalties, certainly a big issue for both teams early on. And Duggan is going to work again out of the shotgun. Passing across the middle and going deep. John. He's got his man. Oh, in and out of the hands. That probably would have been 6 points had the reception been there. And that was Matt Miller, who just missed a touchdown. Well, a break there for Pikeville, and maybe they need to remember that one.
He was open, and how about Duggan's doing the job, putting the ball right on the money. That ball tossed some 50 yards in the air.
Absolutely. You know, Duggan's able to see over that line. He's, 5'10", good size for a high school quarterback. He's able to get up there, see across that line, and just lob it. He threw it for 50 yards, just in and out of the hands of Matt Miller. Well, Duggan's going to throw it again. He's going to throw it deep, and there's a man down there, and good protection from Pikeville's Barrett Rogers. His intended receiver was Robbie Fox, but Barrett Rogers stayed at home there.
Fox actually has it in his hands, John, just can't pull it in. And right now, a case of a little bit of the jitters, I believe, for the Boyle County receivers.
That'll bring up 4th down, and Boyle County in punt formation.
Good kicking game so far by both teams. They're getting good punts.
It's always a little scary when your quarterback is doing your kicking, because if you're a Pikeville special teams, you never know what's going to happen. Well, they do know what's going to happen here, and taking that ball was number 33, Jeremiah Akers, and he didn't get much out of the return. Because Boyle County right down there very quickly.
It's like a 45-yard kick that time. So, the punting and kicking game working well for both squads.
Well, Jeff Duggins, the quarterback for Boyle County, is an Iron Man. He's a quarterback. He just punted the ball, and he's in there on defense right now. As looks like probably as a cornerback or a linebacker. Looks like he's going to be in the secondary as a cornerback. Or possibly a safety. Looks like a safety.
Well, the shade beginning to move across the Bermuda field here at Pikeville, John.
Another chance here for Pikeville. Nothing on that play inside. Looks like a handoff to, looked to be either Akers or Frazier. I believe it was Jared Frazier. And it was. No gain on the play. That'll be 2nd and 10. Well, we're still trying to check the progress of Brandon Isom. Let's go down to Rich, see if he can give us the latest.
Pikeville defensive lineman Brandon Isom has a hyperextended right knee. They have applied a knee brace to his right knee. He was walking around on it for a little bit. He's just now sat down on the bench, questionable as to whether or not he will return.
All right, Rich. Well, usually any kind of knee injury, they're not going to take a chance and bring a kid back in. So Isom may be done for the day. Branham in the shotgun. 8:30 to go. He's going to throw it to the sideline. He's got his man. They're going to get about 5 out of that one. Looks like Nick King on the reception. Knocked out of bounds.
Pikeville a couple of years ago, John, we mentioned, talk about in the open and so forth, 5 and 6. Last year, 10 and 3, beaten in the first game of the year by Brandon County. And then last game of the regular season by Prestonsburg. A great playoff game with Middlesboro. 5 second-half special teams touchdowns. Knocks out Pikeville in the playoffs last year, but excellent first year for Coach Chapman.
Absolutely. 3rd and 5 for Branham, who's going to work out of the shotgun again. Looking to pass. He's going to have to get rid of it quick, and he is hit as he's throwing it. That's going to be an incomplete pass.
You know, John, I was going to say, that was good protection, though, by Pikeville. You can't really keep a guy, you can't keep the people off of him forever.
That's right.
He had about 5 ticks and just couldn't find anybody open. You're just looking at a good Boyle County Rebel defense here. These guys aren't missing any of their assignments in the secondary, and a lot of times what you want to do with no huddle and doing the 4 wideouts and so forth is try to cause some guys to get confused. So far, Boyle County, no confusion.
So that's going to bring Matt Walls back out on the field to punt to Boyle County. And he does. That was going to be up and down. Boomer Johnson is boomed as soon as he catches the ball just inside the 45-yard line.
Lincoln Swords, 6'1", 160 junior for Pikeville. Gets in on the action. And once again, Boyle County sets up shop with great field position. You know, football, a game of field position. Eventually, you keep playing on the short field. You hope something good will happen.
Well, for Boyle County, the good things that are going to happen will probably come from the quarterback, Jeff Duggins, who, as you mentioned, his first year as quarterback, but he's doing a heck of a job. Just a matter of getting the ball into the hands of his receivers and his running backs getting some first down action. And can they do it? Yes, he can. He is across the 40 and taken down right outside the first down marker.
Matt Walls holds on for dear life in the secondary. And that one of our more elusive runs so far.
Absolutely. Miller got some room, and he just took off with it, and that'll bring up first down. Boyle County with 7 minutes and 20 seconds. Wideouts on either side, but the handoff goes up the middle, and more good yardage there for Boyle County and the running game. That was Matt Quinn, number 34, who is taken down. Gets about 6 yards on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 4.
You know, it looks now like maybe a change in philosophy to some degree here by Boyle County. Instead of maybe putting the ball up in the air, and they were successful now. Their last series, a couple of guys could have hauled them in. They would have had some big plays, but now maybe keeping the ball on the ground a little bit.
Duggins again, handoff inside. The play's worked before. Will it work again? Not this time. There is a flag on the play, but Chris Lee stayed at home there to stop the run. Let's see what the official call is.
On the white.
So that even negates it further. A hold against the Boyle County Rebels, so they'll march this one back.
Talked about Coach Chuck Smith in his 8th year as a head coach at Boyle County. He also spent 4 years as the head man at Campbellsville and 1 year at Allen County. Played football at the University of Kentucky, linebacker. Played at the same time as a guy by the name of Ken Rourke, who coaches Middlesboro, and those guys are longtime friends. Ken, of course, all-conference center at the University of Kentucky.
Play action fake for Duggins, throwing it long, and he has got the reception in it. A tightrope down to about the 5-yard line with Matt Miller. That's the play that Boyle County has been working on, and they finally got it to go.
That was pretty, John, and I tell you, how about Duggins rolling to his left, finding the receiver open. We talk about the rolling pocket being advantageous, and finds the receiver open. There's been some guys open. This time they haul it in. Duggins has been on the money, and this time they haul it in for the big game.
1st and goal for Boyle County, the closest that either team has been to sniffing 6 points. 6 minutes, 4 seconds left to go. And here goes Duggins again, throwing for the end zone. He's got his man, and that is not going to be a touchdown because he was taken out just inside. You can't get much closer than that, and we've got a man down again for Pikeville.
I think they ruled that he was out of bounds when he came down, John. So that would go as an incomplete pass, but I'm not sure. You're exactly right. We do have an injured player down on the field, but I believe that one was just incomplete.
It is. They're going to call it 2nd and 10. Actually, they've got 2nd and 4 up right now.
Well, it's because it's the 4-yard line.
You got it. That which would be the goal.
That's it. Good job, John. Well,
it was first and goal
early
going
season.
in.
Early season.
That's right. Well, it appears that they did send Brandon Isom back into the game, and that knee is just not going to hold up.
Yeah. Young man giving it all he's got. And, speaking of a young man giving it all he's got, I guess it's about time right now. Of course, there is no live TV, but another young man from Eastern Kentucky is just about ready to take some snaps up on the banks of Lake Erie.
That's right, and this is the inaugural game for Cleveland Brown Stadium. Of course, Leslie County's Tim Couch, the starting quarterback named tonight. And I tell you what, Jim Frazier, I'm going to give you some credit. Several years ago, you were calling a game with Keith Casebold, and you said, I really think, and this was
when he was on the bench at UK. He was running the option.
His freshman year, and you called it. Boyle County looking for the end zone again on second down, and they got a touchdown. There it is. They run it through the end zone and just powered their way, and that was been the case for Boyle County. They're going to have to power one into the end zone, and they did it finally on second and goal.
Well, you hit the big play there with the pass and catch, and that's just the way it is in the Pike County Bowl. The big play plays a big part.
But as we were saying there, it looks like they're going to kick the extra point. You called it. You said that there was a freshman quarterback by the name of Tim Couch at UK who was eventually going to play for the Cleveland Browns when they started up their franchise again. And this was just after Cleveland had bolted for Baltimore.
Sometimes you hit them.
Well, and Boyle County gets them right through there. Wow, that looked like that may be river bounds. 7-0. Boyle County with the lead and the first score of the game, 5:52 left to go in the game. In the first half, I should say. Well, the power game worked out well for Boyle County, as did the going to the air. That's what set up that final touchdown. Of course, Duggan's hitting Matt Miller on the sidelines, and then they powered it on to the end zone for the first touchdown of the game on the Pike County Bowl. The first action of the Pike County Bowl today. Of course, Belfry and Boyd County will play the second game today. That one should hit around 8:30 or 9 o'clock, according to when this game gets over. And right now, the game's going kind of slow for both teams.
Yeah, well, we've had so many penalties and those type of things. The clock just has not been able to get going. But, it's just one of those type of things where the mistakes early have cost Pikeville here. Defensively, they could have been back to make the play, but they weren't. And the big play by Boyle County puts them on top.
You can always tell the first season game. Again, the first season game will mean a lot to these guys right now, but later in the season, they're going to learn from it. Not to say that they've lost the game, but you learn from your penalties and your mistakes.
I think that was a great comment that Tim Couch made about the game last week. They had a problem. They weren't real successful at Tampa Bay, but he says, anytime I'm out there going up against the top defense, I'm going to learn something. And I think kids today can pick up from that type of positive attitude.
Barrett Rogers on the return there. He takes it to the 35, and yes, Tim Couch will be facing the first defense of the Minnesota Vikings tonight at Cleveland Brown Stadium. And what a refreshing change that is, not to have a stadium called any corporate name. It's what tradition is all about. It is called simply Cleveland Browns Stadium. First and 10 for Pikeville on the 35-yard line. Second quarter here, Boyle County with a 7-0 lead. Pikeville trying to get the offense working with new quarterback Matt Branham, who looks to be healthier than he was earlier. He was nursing an ankle, looked like earlier.
They've got Chase Gibson going to the top of the screen. He's up there in single coverage. Let's see if they can try to maybe get him. At 6'3", he's a pretty big target out there.
Jeremiah Akers goes into motion, the handoff inside.
Oh.
You made the call there. That is Barrett Rogers, and he breaks open for the first down. The 48-yard line, or 49, they'll spot it. And a first down for Pikeville. Well, the Panthers are just waiting on Barrett Rogers to get his feet under him, and he's certainly done that, and something that he had to do last year as a freshman.
Oh, yeah.
This kid's just a sophomore. He had to step in when Jonathan Chapman, the running back, went down last year.
And over 1,000 yards as a freshman. And you just mentioned when Chapman went down, and perhaps we can talk a little bit about the health of Jonathan Chapman here in a few moments.
That's right.
And his outlook at the University of Kentucky.
Rogers dots the I, and he takes the handoff inside, stopped this time, and he stopped behind the 50. They'll mark forward progress, though, to the 49, so no gain, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, both of the LaFews came and made the stop. But, John, what about Jonathan Chapman here this year? Will you think the red shirt? Or?
Well, you know, there's still a lot of talk about that. Certainly, University of Kentucky has the running backs that they need right now, and Derek Homer and Anthony White. Now, whether, you know, you've got to have some kind of depth to be able to say you're going to redshirt a guy like Jonathan Chapman. But Hal Mumme is he's a fan of redshirting the freshman. So we'll see what happens with Jonathan Chapman. Now, obviously, he's going to redshirt Jared Lorenzen, the quarterback, right now, and have Dusty Bonner make the calls. Matt Brandon making the call right now for the Pikeville Panthers. He throws it toward the sideline. Interception from Boyle County, and this is going to be a foot race with no one but his other teammates, because he has gone all the way in for the touchdown. That is Robbie Vox. And just like that, Boyle County has a 13-0 lead on Pikeville.
Well, Robbie Vox, it rhymes with the box, and I tell you what, he puts it in the box and in the end zone. Big play there. You know, you'd notice both teams throwing to the wideouts, the wide side of the field, those short, quick outs, and that time it just didn't work. Vox all over it, and 6 points Boyle County. And, you know, in the past with Pikeville primarily a running team, a 2-touchdown deficit, difficult to overcome. But now with the running game, perhaps they have more of a potential to come back. We'll see.
And it looks like another ball is headed over the fence and down on. 4:19 left to go. Boyle County with the 14-0 lead here in the first half. We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll see what Pikeville can do with it.
I just want to celebrate, When you drive a Ford truck, you're ready for whatever the world brings on. Now you can celebrate that feeling of confidence during the Ford Authorized Clearance. We're moving out the 99s to make room for that 2000s. That means financing as low as 0.9% and up to $1,000 cash back on your favorite pickup. I just want to celebrate,
Celebrate the thrill of owning a new Ford truck now at your best quality Ford dealer.
Someday when he grows up, Sammy Matthews wants to be just like his dad. His dad likes to listen to the radio while he shaves. So does Sam. His dad likes the crisp freshness of the fruits and vegetables he buys at Food City. He likes the variety and selection, too. So does Sam. His dad likes broccoli. Well, someday Sam's taste will grow up, too. Food City for quality produce priced the way you like. Because at Food City, we mean value.
Back to action here in the first half of the Pike County Bowl. 4 minutes, 19 seconds left to go, and Pikeville with a 14-0 deficit. But they're going to have a chance to cut into this as Boyle County kicks off to the Pikeville Panthers.
Now let's see what the special teams can do here. Maybe come up with a big return.
That's Jeremiah Akers with the ball, and he's going to be taken down there about 35. And I tell you what, that would certainly be a boost in the arm if special teams could get a score on the board for Pikeville.
Casey McCoy, 5'11", sophomore, comes down with the stop for Boyle County, and he'll retreat to his defensive back slot. But Boyle County coming up with the bigger hits here in this second frame, John, and they've got this 2-touchdown lead.
Well, when you've got a team like Boyle County with the big guys, of course, we've been mentioning Bobby LaFew. He's 6'5", 230, and not a guy that you really probably want to get hit by anytime soon.
I don't want to be hit by the little guys, John.
Matt Branham in there out of the shotgun and looking to pass. He swings it over to Barrett Rogers. Rogers trying to put the juke on. He takes the sideline, and he'll get a few extra yards. Actually, he's going to tightrope down for what could be the first down. Let's see where they spot it, that he went out of bounds.
Excellent footwork by Barrett Rogers, evading the potential tackle by Matt Quinn. You know, Quinn, a solid defensive player, had a shot in the open field, but the sophomore able to avoid the tackle.
That will move the change. He did get past the first down marker, 1st and 10 now. 4 minutes, 6 seconds for Pikeville to try to get a score on the board here in the first half. They're down 14-0 to Boyle County.
Boyle County defense really on their game. We talk about mid-season form. You got guys going in different direction, making shifts, making the reads, and so far they've all been correct.
Akers goes back in motion. That'll leave 2 wide, and Branham hands off inside. It's number 35, Jared Frazier, and he's stopped for a short gain. If any gain at all, and looks like Frazier may be down for just a second. You know, one problem that a lot of these players are having right now, and I've seen it all, you know, Friday night, we had a lot of players that just have cramps.
Yeah, the heat. The heat is difficult. Of course, the shade has moved over right now, and thankfully so. The shade is in the press box, thank goodness.
Exactly. Well, you know, a lot of people that are watching at home might say, well, you know, it's only 75, 80 degrees out there, but let me tell you something. When you put those pads on and you get a lot of people here and you're sitting directly in the sun, it feels a lot hotter than just 80 degrees. But we're not going to complain about the weather because this is a good time for football right now.
Sure is. You sort of factor in the Tony Brown heat index there and come up with a particular number in which the players are suffering.
3 minutes, 56 seconds.
And, you know, with the type of offense that Pikeville has here, even though only 3 minutes or so left, there's plenty of time for them to put a score up on the board, John.
Absolutely.
And I believe they do have to do something here to make a challenge offensively, because if Boyle County gets on top by 3 scores, it looks like they've got an excellent kicking game. It's going to be difficult.
It's going to be difficult to get that running game going on against big number 68 there.
Oh, yes.
That is Travis LeFew, the little brother of Bobby LeFew.
Well, we'll call him baby brother.
That's
now,
right.
John.
There's nothing little about that guy.
No, sir. And, of course, you know, you mentioned Bobby LeFew, 5th year, extra semester of eligibility. Right. And it's not too bad because it's actually coming from an academic standpoint rather than an athletic standpoint. He was out of school for some 9 weeks, and so why not give the kid another chance?
A severe ankle injury. And he's got his eligibility back for now. Branham, the pump action. Let's see if it would work for him. Just overthrows Nick King. Well, he pumped it once, hoping for the defense to bite, but it didn't happen for Branham.
Casey McCoy and, of course, the quarterback, Jeff Duggan's back there, and that's what we alluded to earlier. Boyle County making all the right reads defensively here, and just really no one for Branham to hit that time.
Branham was looking for Nick King, just overthrows it, so that's going to bring up 4th down, and Pike will have to punt it away. 3 minutes exactly left to go here in the first half. That'll be Matt Walls to punt.
Special teams need to be big here for Pikeville. If Boyle County comes up with a nice return.
Well, Boomer Johnson, he's been boomed once, and he's had a nice return earlier. Let's see what happens here. This one's going to actually hit the man there, and that's going to be down on the 35. That just hit the back of Lincoln Swords. 14-0. Boyle County with the lead, and going to try to build on that before they go into the locker room here in the first half.
And, of course, John, the excellent job here is done at the Pike County Bowl. They just brought the pizzas in to the press box, and even though I'm on live TV, I had to tell them where to go exactly with the pizzas, keeping things going. You know, as a color guy, I can look away from the action occasionally.
Well, I tell you what, you've got to feed the media if you want them to come back. The media always takes some free food. Lefty's going to take the ball across for the first down and more as he's taken out of bounds about the 50-yard line, or actually past the 50-yard line. They're going to mark it about the 48.
Talk about a man among the boys, and big Bobby LeFew picking them up and laying them down once again to the top of your screen for good yardage.
1st and 10. Boyle County on the run, now in Pikeville territory, just by a yard. And Duggins is going to work out of the shotgun. Hand off inside again, running toward the sideline, and stopped for about 2 yards there. Good job by the Pikeville defense. Let me tell you something, when Casey McCoy starts turning on that speed, you got to stay with it.
It's a flag back in the Pikeville secondary. That time Barrett Rogers, sophomore running back, comes up to meet his opposite running back, and nice job tackling. I don't know if we've got a face mask. Let's see here.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike on the weight.
Unsportsmanlike, and you know, Coach Chuck Smith is not going to like that when you're in Pikeville territory. You don't get a penalty like that. So that'll move that back 15 yards 2.5 minutes here for Boyle County to try to score again. I'll tell you what, Boyle County on the move there. Great run from Casey McCoy to put them to the 49-yard line. Or actually, they stopped Casey McCoy. It was Bobby Lefew that put them in that territory. And then just not a heads-up play there, and they got called for unsportsmanlike.
And now you wonder if Pikeville might take a chance defensively, maybe come with a blitz. They're only using like basically a 4-3 set here. No blitz, John.
Duggins to pass across the middle, got his man, and they're right back where they started from, really. And that's Matt Miller there on the reception right at the 50.
Of course, the blitz would be a gamble towards a big play. Perhaps you could make a big play defensively. Certainly you could give up something, and if you do give up a score here for Pikeville, not sure if you can come back. Although we have seen some big second-half comebacks.
That's right.
In Pikeville's football history. Big crowd on hand. They seem to keep coming in, as you see around the field now. Fans lining the field in the Pike County Bowl.
Getting to be a full house over here. Duggins back to pass. Throws it across toward the sideline, nearly intercepted, and it is intercepted in Jeremiah Akers' hands and then into Nick King's hands. Flag on the play. Nick King taken down about the 36-yard line.
Well, that was the break the Pikeville Panthers needed. I believe they're going to get them with a block on the run back, but that time the nice job by Nick King.
Now, Jeremiah Akers had a bead on it, just went in and out of his hands, and Nick King with a head-up play, and
we
he
have a
got
clip on red on a return. I don't know. I'll find out.
All right, so that's a clip on the return, and that's going to move it back, but still, what a play there from Nick King.
And we'll see what the Panthers choose to do with a minute and a half here.
Well, you never want to first guess or second guess a coach, but you would think that with a minute and a half left and in this kind of field position, that if Random goes in, and he is going in, that they would maybe want to try to have him air out the ball a few times.
Why not? We can certainly say that from here.
That's right. It's extremely easy for us to make a call from the press box because we don't have to deal with it after it's all over and done. But let's see what they're going to do with Matt Branham in here in the game.
And of course, Pikeville, you know, so many years between the tackles and so successful with Hillard Howard.
Handoff again to Rogers, and he is taken down quickly. Barrett Rogers, the sophomore.
Hat to hat in the flat. Woo.
Just under a minute and a half to play here in the first half.
I tell you, you talk about not wanting to be hit by the big guys, not the little guys either, showing some fire here in this Pike County Bowl, despite the heat and the Tony Brown heat index factors.
We need to get that mathematical equation from our weatherman.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Branham's going to work this time under center. Clock running at 55. Play action for Branham. He's looking to pass. He had his man, and wow. I'll tell you who took a hit there.
Whoa.
That was Jared Frazier, who took a big hit but held on to the ball for the complete play.
And that was the quarterback, Duggins, coming up to deliver the hit. And
well, if pitchers can help their own calls, I would say quarterbacks can do the same.
Well, you know, you talk about pitchers. Last year, a tremendous year, Pikeville High School sports. They had one of their greatest years, really, in their history, all across the board with so many sports. And I know they have high hopes for this year's teams as well. Right now, not faring so well in this first half.
Well, let's see. They're going to try to run one more play, and they will. That's Barrett Rogers taking the ball, and he is taken down at the 35, and that's going to end the first half. Pikeville will go into the locker room with a 14-0 deficit to face when they come out in the second half. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, the halftime festivities from the Pike County Bowl comes your way after this.
Attorney Gary C. Johnson.
If you've been in an accident and have a question, give us a call. We'll get you an answer that may save you from having problems that you'll have to live with the rest of your life. It's free, it doesn't cost anything, and we're always there.
Gary has been protecting the rights of injured people for more than 2 decades.
We take care of everything so you don't make an innocent but costly mistake.
Call Gary C. Johnson for a free consultation.
The promise of a new day, work to do, challenges to face, opportunities to grow. One thing we've learned on down through the years, you can't do it alone. That's why we look to Community Trust Bank for help with all our financial needs. They're people who care about our family, our business, and our way of life. They understand what commitment is all about. You know you're giving your best every day. Shouldn't you bank where they do the same? Community Trust Bank, building communities built on trust.
Cardinal Chevrolet Cadillac has been really busy lately. What's all the excitement?
We've got the new 2000 models coming, so we've been making great deals on the 99.
But what do you still have a good selection of?
99 sport utility vehicles, the all-new Chevrolet Tracker, and the ever-popular 2- and 4-door Blazer.
What about financing a new vehicle?
With 15 sources of financing and a special finance department, we can get our customers in the car they want for the payment terms they need. Stop by Cardinal Chevrolet in Hazard, Kentucky, and let us make you a satisfied customer.
Someday when he grows up, Sammy Matthews wants to be just like his dad. His dad likes to listen to the radio while he shaves. So does Sam. His dad likes the crisp freshness of the fruits and vegetables he buys at Food City. He likes the variety and selection, too. So does Sam. His dad likes broccoli. Well, someday Sam's taste will grow up, too. Food City for quality produce priced the way you like. Because at Food City, we mean value.
Welcome back to the WC Hambly Athletic Complex. I'm Rich Johnson at halftime, where Boyle County leads 14-0. Let's recap the scoring. With 5:52 left in the second quarter, Matt Quinn scored from 4 yards out. The extra point was good. Boyle County with a 7-0 lead. But then with 4:19 left in the second quarter, Robbie Vonks with a 49-yard interception return. The extra point was good. Boyle County leading 14-0 at the half. But the Pike County Bowl really got underway last night with 2 games at Pike Central. Let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights in the first game. Shelby Valley versus Elkhorn City. The cheerleaders are happy, and here's why. Shelby Valley already with a 7-0 lead. Shelby Valley off to a fast start. Casey Newsom will go up the middle, sheds a tackler, 84-yard touchdown run. That gives the Wildcats a 14-0 lead on the first play of the Wildcats' next drive. Dusty Hall takes the handoff. He's your game MVP. You'll see why. Rumbles 49 yards down the sideline, his second touchdown of the game. First play of Shelby Valley's next drive. Chris Prater, the quarterback, connecting with Bobby Collins. 19-yard touchdown, 26-0 Wildcats, and we're still in the first quarter. The Cougars turning to Jared Belcher, but Elkhorn City would fail to score. Still in the first quarter, Shelby Valley on the attack. Prater's pass is intended for me, but Dusty Hall makes the catch anyway. Wildcats cap the drive with Chris Prater finding Dusty Hall. Hall will navigate his way into the end zone. His third touchdown of the first quarter. Shelby Valley up 33-0 after the first quarter. Second quarter, Shelby Valley defense. Roy Standifer makes the interception. Shelby Valley wins it big with a final score of 46-12. In the nightcap, Pike Central Palm squad happy because, well, Pike Central played pretty well last night. Joe Waugh picks up good yardage on the first drive of the game, but the Hawks would fail to score. Phelps out of the shotgun. New quarterback Steve Lane completes the screen pass to Justin Kinder. But even after this good yardage, he would fail to pick up the first down. Oh, and I know we're not one of those premium channels, but we can still show naked bootlegs. The Hawks, Justin McCurry, the freshman, gets down to the 5-yard line. They go back to Joe Waugh, who caps the drive with a touchdown run up the middle, 7-0 Hawks. More Pike Central as they turn to the play-action pass. McCurry to David Branham. McCurry to Branham 2 times in the game. 14-0 at that point. Phelps answers with Steve Lane, connecting with Justin Kinder, setting up a 4th and goal for the Hornets, and watch the Hawk defense swarm the Hornets quarterback. Lane is sacked. Pike Central led 20-0 at the half. They go on to win it by the final score of 46-0. Much more to get to at halftime, but we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Love Homes in Pikeville, Kentucky is celebrating its biggest summer clearance sale ever, featuring top manufacturers such as Clayton, Norris, and Giles Homes. With our wide selection of new, pre-owned, and bank repos, you're sure to find great quality, prices, and low payments that won't go up. Come see Mike Kirk, David Conley, and Johnny Martin. Remember, that's at Love Homes, halfway between Prestonsburg and Pikeville in Pikeville.
Hi, I'm Jim Patton, president of J&M Monitoring of Pikeville, Kentucky. We've been serving the mining industry for the past 12 years, and we've learned a lot about acid mine drainage treatment. This is one of the most innovative systems that we've designed yet. This system will change the way we think about acid mine drainage. Give us a call at J&M Monitoring today. 606-432-1910.
Hi, I'm Jim Vanover. Many injured people don't assert their rights guaranteed them under the law because they think they will have to go to trial in order to get justice. In fact, the vast majority of cases involving bodily injuries never go to trial. At Vanover, Hall, and Bartley, our attorneys are experienced in the different areas necessary to win your case: investigation, development, mediation, and if necessary, trial. Don't let a fear of the system prevent you from protecting your rights.
There was a place when you were young, before the mortgage, before the fax machine, when life held only one expectation: fun, good, clean fun. Fun, pure and simple. The kind that lets you lose track of time and obligations. Maybe you've forgotten. Good, clean fun. Where the wind's fingers run through your hair, where you can dance on the water like a dolphin. Fun, good, clean fun. It's just a ride away on a Sea-Doo from Southeast Marine in Corbin and Somerset.
At halftime, Boyle County leads 14-0 in this second day of the Pike County Bowl. This is game one. Later on tonight, Belfry will be in action against Boyd County. And wow, ever since Tim Couch put on a high school uniform, teams have been intrigued about the passing offense, and Pikeville is one of those teams that has adopted the passing offense. They're in their second year of the wide open, go for broke, throw deep, throw anywhere offense. Not too successful in the first half as they are down 14-0, but the Panthers realize the defense will have to be just as exciting as the offense if Pikeville is to accomplish their goals this season.
Defense is going to play a big part. Offense is going to be there. We got the people that can run and catch the ball. No question about that. As long as defense comes through, we'll win ball games.
As a team, our goals are much higher than a regional championship. We want to go, of course, to the state playoffs, and maybe even the state championship, and to play at Louisville and to actually win the state championship. And that's really our team goal for this year.
And the Pikeville Panthers, year in and year out, are contenders for state titles. You remember they went 7 or 8 years in a row where they played Beechwood in the state semifinals. As for the Pike County Bowl, the 6 teams involved and a lot of youth in the coaching staffs for this year's Pike County Bowl. The legend, Belfry head coach Philip Haywood, in his 16th season. He's been around for a while. But Elkhorn City, Randall Akers in his first year, although he coached Elkhorn City in the late 80s. As for Phelps, Dave Kluski is in his first year. Pikeville's John P. Chapman in his second year at Pikeville. And Pike Central now has a new head coach, Barry Birchfield, in his first year. The Hawks' former head coach, Chris McNamee, is now the defensive coordinator here at Pikeville. And the final coach involved in the Pike County Bowl this year was Shelby Valley's Derek Potter in his 3rd season. He's got to be happy with the way his Wildcats played last night with a 46-12 victory. Now, in tonight's nightcap, the Belfry Pirates will face Boyd County. And last year, much like Pikeville, the Pirates instituted a passing offense. Belfry quarterback Jonathan Wright returns to guide the offense, with which he's now comfortable with it. You're kind of familiar with it now.
Well, it's totally different because I know what's going on. Know a whole lot more. Everybody knows what's going on. So it's a whole lot smoother. We got a few wrinkles because, well, we've got a lot of guys. There's only like two guys from last year that even played. So pretty much we've got a couple of juniors just learning what to do and what routes to run, but pretty much we're getting there.
Well, he's come a long way from the beginning of last year to the beginning of this year. And he works hard at being as good as he can be. And when yesterday we were looking at some film and still looking at some little things that we need to improve on. But he has come a long way. But this passing game is as much a team-oriented thing as anything. I mean, everybody's got to know where they're going on routes. You got to know your checks and how to handle blitzes and things like that. So he studies the game, puts a lot of time into it mentally as well as physically, and hopefully he'll continue right on this year where he left off a year ago.
And you will be able to see highlights of tonight's nightcap Monday morning on Mountain News this morning, along with this Pikeville game this afternoon. And the Pike County Bowl Queen is about to be crowned. We have about 10 minutes until the beginning of the second half. We'll have more during our halftime show right after this.
Welcome to San Antonio's for the best ribs you'll ever eat, guaranteed. Steaks hand-selected, aged, and cut on premises, prepared over an open flame and seasoned with our special spices. Mexican specialties prepared fresh from authentic family recipes. If you really love good food, good drink, and an honest good time, you'll always be welcome at San Antonio's, Prestonsburg, Pikeville, Betsy Lane, and Salyersville.
Someday, when he grows up, Sammy Matthews wants to be just like his dad. His dad likes to listen to the radio while he shaves. So does Sam. His dad likes the crisp freshness of the fruits and vegetables he buys at Food City. He likes the variety and selection, too. So does Sam. His dad likes broccoli. Well, someday Sam's taste will grow up, too. Food City for quality produce priced the way you like. Because at Food City, we mean value.
When Jim Patton, president of J&M Monitoring, needed sound insurance advice, he called Accordia of Kentucky.
With Accordia of Kentucky, I found competitive rates when compared with other independent insurance providers. I'm very satisfied with the service I received from Accordia. When it comes to insurance, I recommend Accordia of Kentucky.
Accordia of Kentucky, the best there is.
Fun, freedom, adventure. That's what you get with the new Bayliner Capri or Rendezvous from Southeast Marine. This is your time. Time to take life by the wheel and spin it around. To kiss the sky, part the water, and crank up the music. So bring your family aboard, call your friends, and head for the fun. Come by and see Rex or Dave at Southeast Marine in Corbin or Somerset. Or call them at 606-528-2628.
And welcome back to the Community Trust WYMT Pike County Bowl, sponsored by Food City, and your halftime report sponsored by Food City. You know, I almost called you Keith Case. I knew it was going to happen. Jim Frazier. Obviously, Pikeville, a lot of tradition here in Pikeville, and a lot of tradition for Pikeville in the Pike County Bowl. And you can go back and look at the wins that Pikeville has in this Pike County Bowl, of course, back in 1985. And you can see it in 1985, they beat Cumberland, the very first Pike County Bowl, 27-21. Of course, they had a quarterback by the name of Freddie Maggard.
Yeah, I was going to say, they went on to play for the University of Kentucky. And, of course, Cumberland with a great story that year. They wind up with Maggard getting hurt in the state championship game, and they fall just short. Runners up in the state that year. But some tremendous talent that you see there on the screen, John. And that's what we talk about with Eastern Kentucky sports and Eastern Kentucky football in particular, and football across the state getting better. And I know Philip Haywood would tell me continually that the Pike County Bowl, things like that were the things that brought football to the fore here in Kentucky.
Absolutely. The last win for Pikeville in the Pike County Bowl was in 1995. That happened against Paris. It was 59-20, kind of a blowout there, but it's been a drought for the last couple of years for Pikeville in this bowl.
Well, if you look right there, of course, Paris, their county rival, Bourbon County. Of course, Dudley Hilton there, and we have Bourbon County here, Danville, of course, right in their back door. So Pikeville and Pike County Central sort of working things out with the new school here. So I talked with Coach Smith of Boyle County about that at length before the game, and he says those type of things are good for both programs and good for the community. And, you know, that was one of the surprising things to me, that Dudley Hilton could go and be so successful at Bourbon County so quickly when, in particular, Paris was the school that was, quote, in quote, the football school.
That's right. Well, you know, Paris's Maurice Garrett in that game returned to fumble against Pikeville for 103 yards, a losing effort, but he did tie a state record. He did win in that.
I remember that.
1995 versus Pikeville. Well, Pikeville's got some work here to do today. 14-0, the halftime deficit they have to Boyle County, and it's going to be a chance for it's going to be a chance for them to come back here and maybe show something in the third quarter, and they need to do it quick. Rich Johnson's been watching this game from the sidelines there, and injury may be a problem there for Brandon Isom down on the sidelines. And, Rich, I really doubt that he's going to come back in this game.
Well, John, what they've done is they've already iced his right knee, so I would not expect him to come back into this ball game. And you look at the Pikeville's history in the Pike County Bowl. They beat Breathitt back in 1992. Last year, they were shut out by Breathitt County in a matchup everybody thought was going to be a classic, with Jonathan Chapman of the Pikeville Panthers facing his former team, the Breathitt County Bobcats. It didn't turn out like that. But don't take too much from the Pike County Bowl results. Pikeville still made it where they faced Middlesboro with the chance to make it to the state semifinals, but they were defeated. And then Breathitt County rolled to the state semifinals where they lost to Danville. So don't take too much stock into today's results. Pikeville, the defense has been pretty good. Nick King with an interception, and they only trail 14-0. And with the wide open offense that they have, they can score quickly. But Boyle County has done an excellent job of shutting them down so far.
Well, Pikeville certainly has some key games coming up here later this season. Obviously, they want to get the season started off on a winning note. But, you know, they've got some games that they're going to have to really focus in on here in 1999. And certainly the first one I would think would be at Hazard on September 10th when Pikeville goes over there to play always the Pikeville-Hazard rivalry big. South Floyd, September 17th. There you see it. That is at South Floyd. And another big game. How about against Paintsville? That'll be here at Hambley, October 29th. Now, what's missing from that list? It's a non-district game that everybody's going to be looking at. It's a team that we'll see here later tonight. On September 24th, it will be Pikeville against Belfry at Belfry.
Always a big game, and, of course, the Pikeville at Belfry. Over at Belfry, that's where Belfry managed to snap the winning streak that Pikeville had, and, you know, they were on their way to perhaps having the longest winning streak in the state, and the Belfry Pirates said no and came up with a tremendously emotional victory for Coach Philip Haywood.
And it'll be interesting to see what the Belfry Pirates have tonight. Of course, they're the second game here at the Pike County Bowl. They will play Boyle County right after this game. Boyle County leads Pikeville High School 14-0. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more halftime festivities at the Pike County Bowl after this.
Attorney Gary C. Johnson on the importance of experience.
Insurance companies know which law firms settle claims too low, and they know my law firm is willing to go to court to protect your rights.
Gary knows what it takes to win.
Handling accident cases is no job for a beginner. You hire the best law firm you can find. There's just too much at stake.
If you've been injured, call Gary C. Johnson for a free consultation.
Hi, my name is Mandy. In my family, we take vacations seriously. That's why my dad thought we should get a new boat. But my mom had other ideas. Then my mom came up with a great idea for a new car. But my dad had other ideas. I knew we needed help, so I called my friend.
Community Trust Bank, may I help you?
They said I should bring both my mom and my dad in for a visit. I did. I just know Community Trust Bank can help you too.
All right, well, we're about 2 minutes away from the start of the second half here at the Pike County Bowl. Some other games going on, bowl games that are going on today. Of course, always the first week of the season, there are a lot of Saturday games. Breathitt County is playing Montgomery County in the Recreation Bowl. Bullitt Central and Johnson Central, they're playing today in the Big Sandy Bowl. Clay County plays Knox Central in the Appalachian Bowl. Also, Harlan will play Lawrence County. As a matter of fact, they're probably playing that game right now. Fleming County is at Paintsville. Somerset and Whitesburg are taking on each other in the Pine Mountain Classic, as will Cumberland and Fleming Neon. And Corbin and Garrett County, they are playing today in the Constitution Bowl. Of course, that is in Danville, the home of Danville Admirals and, of course, the Boyle County Rebels. So, as you mentioned, a big rivalry between those two. Danville moves down, though, this year to Class A, and I tell you what, it's going to be hard to beat that team in Class A. They win it on every level, it seems like.
Oh, no question about it. I can remember not so few years ago when they were winning the 3A state title.
That's right. And, Rich, you know, they did it in 2A, too.
Yeah, Danville winners at 3A, 2A, and now trying to do it in Class A, a dominant program that they have there. You go back to Pikeville, and another tough test that they're going to have coming up is against the Prestonsburg Black Cats. Jeremy Caudle, a Mr. Football candidate, will go up against them. That's a game Pikeville lost to Prestonsburg last year at Prestonsburg, so they'll be over here at Pikeville this year. As for the Belfry Pirates, they'll be the second game of this doubleheader. Not a game we're televising, but we'll see highlights on Monday of Jonathan Wright and crew. They lost Matt Little and Brian Smith from a year ago. They're two main receivers, but they still have Curtis Childress coming back. And Philip Haywood, you know, over the last 2 years, he's made that transition to a passing offense, which we haven't seen from the Belfry Pirates over the years. But they're an exciting football team, and one I think that you should watch. They moved down to 2A, and I think they will be a contender before the season is over with.
Well, you know, you mentioned Jonathan Wright there, who's the quarterback over at Belfry, who last year was a Pike County Bowl MVP. He shared the honor there, obviously. Belfry lost 7-6, a close one with Campbell County last year, but the passing offense for Belfry's just been something outstanding. And, you know, last year just the first year they introduced that at Belfry, so this year, a year under their belt, what can they do with it?
Well, you know, you got it there. Of course, Philip Haywood, one of the best, and one of the things about Philip Haywood, he surrounds himself with the best. So the assistant coaches there also deserve the tip of the hat for instituting the new system. And, you know, you talked about there as we came back all the bowl games that are going on across the state of Kentucky, and Philip Haywood big on that, bringing football to the emphasis in Kentucky. And if you look at the 80s, the 90s, now we're closing out the 90s. You have to look at things like the Pike County Bowl as being the showcase, the avenue for football to be able to come and be an outstanding thing, not only for the fans but for the players as well, as they come and make efforts on their way to state championships. We've seen time after time. You saw on the screen there just a few moments ago, but a number of teams getting the opportunity to play in state championship games, and that wasn't necessarily the case in the 70s.
And it's also good to see the Central Kentucky and the Western Kentucky teams that want to come down here and you know, come down here and play these games. And you get, not only do you get to see some great Eastern Kentucky teams out here playing football, but you get to see what the rest of the state has to offer. And it's something that you hear about a lot, but you never really get to see unless you go out and travel to all these games. But, you know, now we know. And obviously, Boyle County is a team to contend with here in a Class 2A.
You know, and Rich has been down on the field, and we're going to put the pressure on Rich right now. What do you think's going to happen here in the second half, Rich? Can Pikeville come back?
They can. They just need to come out and have a good first drive and prove they can move the ball. I counted up 5 punts in the first half, so they've got to establish a drive and get a score here in the third quarter to prove that they can move the ball against this Boyle County defense, or it could be a long evening. Now, a lot of penalties in this game, and you expect that for the first game of the year. I counted 5 or 6 15-yard penalties combined for both teams, so you got to cut down the penalties. Don't do anything stupid out there. They need to come out, you know, and go with the passing offense, throw in a run every once in a while. But it's imperative that they get a touchdown here in the third quarter and not allow Boyle County to score again. If Boyle County gets up 21-0, it's going to be pretty tough to come back.
Rich, earlier we saw Matt Branham down there. We see him warming up on the sideline right now, but it looked like that he was in a little bit of pain early on, nursing an ankle and walking with a limp when he'd go back to the line.
We talked with him a couple weeks ago, and he kind of has the attitude off as a player who's pretty tough, who can take an injury and play in pain, and that's what you want from your signal caller. A new quarterback in here. He said he played quarterback all through grade school, and it's been his dream to play quarterback for the Pikeville Panthers. Ben Howard was obviously the man that ran the offense last year, but I think Branham will be okay. This first game of the year, it's a complex offense, and it's going to take some time. And when you start off with a tough team, it's not going to be easy. Still got to work out the rust and everything, but I think he'll be fine. He only connected with Jeremiah Akers on a couple of occasions in the first half. One was called back on a penalty, so there you go. You got to cut down on the penalties, but I think he'll be okay, and maybe, you know, at halftime you make some adjustments. Maybe they can come out here and do something.
Well, they definitely need to make some adjustments here, down 14-0 as we get ready to kick off the second half. But the thing is, we've got to see a lot less penalties out of the Pikeville Panthers and the Boyle County Rebels.
Boyle County wins the toss, defers to the second half, and that looks pretty good right now, John. And, of course, Pikeville will have to come up with a good defensive stand here, try to bottle up Boyle County.
Well, that's the position you want, and here comes on the kickoff is number 20, Casey McCoy, and he'll take it down right across the 25-yard line.
And Boyle County, we mentioned 7-5 last year, preseason, top 10 in the state in 2A, 11-1 2 years ago, and
their rivalry with Danville, not much of a rivalry to speak of, really, John, until the last few years, but they did win in 96 and 97, lost last year, so they picked off Danville 2 out of the last 3 years. Not bad.
Not many people can probably say that, I would think. Handoff inside there is Matt Quinn, and he gets stopped for a little game.
You know, we talk about a lot of the teams dropping down and some of the teams moving up and so forth in classes. You're always able to compete one class higher than your enrollment.
Right.
So for a number of years, Danville competed on the 3A level, yet they never did have the enrollment, to my knowledge, that actually put them into 3A. And, you know, a lot of times with such tough competition now all across the state, if you get the break perhaps to move down into a different class, I guess you have to take advantage of the opportunity.
Well, Duggins throws right behind his receiver there. Intended that one for Matt Miller, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
You know, if it is an opportunity, because
That's right.
there are such good teams in Class A, you know, that was one of the things that Coach Smith, or excuse me, Coach Sam Harp mentioned for Danville. Just because we're going down to Class A doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be able to have that great a success.
Well, you know, Belfry, a team that plays right after this game, they dropped from Class 3A to 2A, and as we've been saying before, it's not going to be a drop in quality of football over there. In fact, this really could be the chance for Belfry to do a lot of great things this year. Across the middle there, intercepted is Chase Gibson. And number 5 intercepts number 5. Duggins throws it across the middle, and Gibson was there for the interception. Pikeville will have the ball on the 40-yard line.
And now you sort of get the feel. Pikeville football with the break. And can they do something here early? You know, they didn't get their hands on it. They were playing the defensive game. They had to come up with something big defensively. They've done that, and now the pressure shifts to number 12. Can Matt Branham keep things in sync? They didn't do that in the first quarter. And, of course, a big second quarter for Boyle County. We were 0-0 at the end of the first.
Gibson in there, still in the slot. Akers will go into motion. Branham's going to work this one under center, and the handoff inside. And he hands it over to Frazier, and Frazier is across there to about the 38-yard line.
I think it's a good idea to give your offensive lineman a chance to try to do some hitting, but I don't know how much success Pikeville's going to have on the ground. As we were talking here in the press box with a number of people, this Boyle County defense is for real, and they are making the right reads, and linebackers in different type drops. They're coming with the blitz, and I sort of anticipated that Pikeville would come out in the no huddle in the shotgun, but that's not what's happened.
They're going to work it under center. Akers will go back into motion and out of the I formation. Nice pass out of the I to Chase Gibson, and Gibson is going to have a first down and a little more. A flag on the play again.
Well, I think that's going to be a blocking infraction, and we'll, of course, be hearing from Chuck Smith. 2 Chuck Smiths in this game, by the way, the referee and the head coach.
Flip on red. And take them back, guys.
And I think Chuck Smith, the coach, will take that from Chuck Smith, the referee, because that's going to move Pikeville back on the clipping call.
Right, the officials once again this evening. Chuck Smith, the referee. Darrell Crossway, field judge. The umpire is Dave Arnold, head linesman.
On red. Replay second.
Head linesman Ken Ellis and the back judge P.J. Doyen. You just heard the voice there of Chuck Smith, referee, not Chuck Smith, head coach, Boyle County.
The ball is going to be on about the 38-yard line, 39-yard line. Actually, won't we make that about the 46, if I can do my math correctly. They're going to hand off and see if they can run it past. But it's not going to happen there for Barrett Rogers. And Rogers is hit pretty hard. And it looks like he ripped a cramp right into his leg. He'll be okay. It just looks like he's going to try to grab the toes and hop right back up.
Just tremendous defense. The linebacker shooting in. Also, Jeff Duggins in there. Comes in from his safety slot.
Third down, 16 yards to go for Pikeville. 9 minutes and about 30 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Pikeville facing a 14-0 deficit, trying to get it done here with Branham in the shotgun this time.
You almost feel like number 5 Gibson could make some big plays if he could get his hands on the ball.
Across the middle to Chase Gibson. Heck of a call there from you, Jim Frazier, but I tell you what, number 20, Casey McCoy, stood right at home and got the great block there on the pass.
That's a couple of big plays by Casey McCoy. Number 20, just a sophomore, 5'11", 172, and if he doesn't stretch out and make the big play, I think Gibson comes up with 6 points there, John.
He does, but instead, because of Casey McCoy's play, that's going to bring up 4th down for Pikeville.
It's a good play by Branham, good protection. When the protection broke down after about 5 ticks, he scrambled, was able to find his receiver. Just excellent defense once again. This Boyle County defense, impressive early, John.
Absolutely. Forcing another punt out of Pikeville. Matt Walls again back to punt.
You wonder with the Hal Mummy influence in Kentucky, can anything happen?
You see a direct snap on the way. Well, it's not going to happen. He's going to go ahead
What
and
a kick.
punt it away, and a great punt there is going to be taken inside the 10-yard line. And down at the 15 will be Boomer Johnson. So what a kick there out of Matt Walls, and that'll give the ball to Boyle County about the 15. More cramps there this time. Chase Gibson, he's down, trying to work it out there.
Gibson, excuse me, excellent athlete here for Pikeville, and see him up and trying to walk it off. Heat and humidity level.
Always
difficult
plays,
early.
It plays a factor here
Yeah.
early in the season, and you can practice all you want to in 100-degree weather, but when you get out there and pad it up and play a game, it's going to happen no matter what you do. 1st and 10, ball on about the 15 there. Some counter plays there, and look at that.
Look out.
That is McCoy, and he is across the 40. He's across the 50. Jeremiah Akers is going to have to stop him, and he does. He finally trips him up about the 35-yard line.
I tell you, number 20 in the program, number 1 in the heart right now, the Boyle County Rebels. Just a sophomore. We saw him make the big play defensively, and now he rips off another big run. Boyle County, a team that really only returned some 6 seniors from last year, and only 3 of those fellas really playing that much. Young team, Boyle County.
Looking good here early, 14-0. They have the lead and threatening to score again.
Sort of an equipment timeout here for Bobby LeFew. Some of the tape on his arm comes free. Gives us an opportunity to get, of course, the head coach, Chuck Smith, assistant coaches for Boyle County Rebels, Chris Pardue, Chris Mason, Greg Warren, Chuck Miller, David Davis, Timmy Rogers, and Ronnie Blackwell.
Shotgun again for Duggins. Handoff inside, across the middle. That's Matt Quinn, and Quinn looks like he may have another 1st down for Boyle County. Boy, they are really on the march right now. They had to go in there and try to establish themselves offensively on their first possession, and no doubt they've done that so far.
Great blocking at the point of attack, and just some of the big fellas up front getting it done.
Well, they're going to call that 2nd down, according to the scoreboard, and according to the marker. I don't think it was 12 yards to go. It was about 2, and let's see if he got it.
I believe so, John. Just good blocking, point of attack. Some of the big fellas up front for Boyle County. Number 50, Justin Anderson. 57 up front, Tim Johnson. 62, Brandon Clem, and 68, Travis LeFew. Doing the job up front, winning the battle.
Duggins again.
Oh.
They're going to try to grind it out, and a little confusion there maybe on the handoff, or just you have to credit big number 63 there, Cecil Norman, who got through there pretty quickly for Pikeville.
Also number 40, Isaac Radliff, comes through from his linebacker slot. Pikeville, I believe, going to have to take perhaps a few more chances defensively and try to create some type of mismatch.
Sometimes the gambles will pay off, and we'll see if it'll happen here as Boyle County tries to drive toward the end zone. Play action fake for Duggins. He's going to look back to pass, and he is going to be sacked quickly. Well, the play action was there, but nowhere to go. Good coverage there by the secondary of Pikeville.
Pikeville did bring a couple of linebackers that time, and just pretty good job, actually, by the offensive line picking up the blitz, but
when the pocket broke down, it really broke down. And Pikeville now pushing Boyle County back. Now, Boyle County down in the central area of the state where soccer is king, and they do have a soccer-style kicker, left footer. I tell you what, it's in his range here, John.
Absolutely. We've seen him already on extra points. Again, play action for Duggins, and he is hit hard. He gets the ball away and almost complete. Chris Lee was in there, almost thought I'm sure he thought he had the sack there, but Duggins just able to get it away on his way down, but it falls incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And now we'll see if, in fact, they shall go for the field goal. Let's see here.
They're lining up that way. Taylor Begley is the Boyle County kicker.
5'11" junior.
Number 89, the kicker.
He's got some leg. He's got game.
And he's got 3 points, I do believe. Yes, he does. It is good.
Oh,
wow.
Whoa.
17-0.
What was that, 41 yards?
Had to be. Boyle County now with the lead, and he kicked it straight through the goalpost from at least 40 yards.
And that was a big play, because now 2 scores can't get you back, even. Because even if you hit the 2-point conversions, you fall 1 point short. So that was a big score there by the Boyle County Rebels. And always good when we talk about the special teams and a big play there.
Well,
good kick by Taylor Begley.
Absolutely. You got 6:15 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. So the main thing for Pike County, for Pikeville, for the defense to be, they've got to be absolutely patient here on offense and don't try to score the big score early. You can't score 17 points on one pass.
And we'll see what Pikeville is able to do here on this next possession. Just some big plays by Boyle County so far. Pikeville unable to get untracked offensively.
Well, they're going to have another chance here with about, as we mentioned, 6:15 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Go ahead.
Well, they officially scored at about 39 yards on the kick.
Let's give him 41.
We're going to give him 41. Why not? Tell you what, it would have gone 41, no problem. That went straight through and over the fence. Well, there he does. He kicks it again.
Just big plays.
Takes it down to about the 5 is Akers, and Akers is going to try to pick up a couple blocks, puts on the juke, and take it down inside the 30.
22 yards on the return.
Let's see what the homestanding Panthers can do. Pikeville dresses out some 40 players. You can see a few more of the white shirts across the way. Boyle County basically dresses out some 60 players. Of course, Boyle, the 2A, Pikeville, the single-A squads.
First and 10, Pikeville, from their own 28.
Sort of had the feeling when Gibson made the interception that good things were going to happen for Pikeville.
Akers once again with the having to shake off some cramps there. One of many players out here, I'm sure, that's starting to feel it here as we get deep in the heart of this game. Branham again. Looks, he finds his man. Barrett Rogers.
Great defense.
Rogers is swarmed quickly.
Great defense. They just don't fall for the misdirection. The misdirection coming toward the bottom of your screen, but the linebackers just didn't fall for it, John. They stayed home and followed the receiver, Rogers, out into the flat, and he was surrounded. No opportunity to make a play. I think really Pikeville has had pretty good success with some rollouts and trying to go downfield. So let's see if that perhaps can happen. I don't believe Gibson is in the game. He's in the slot, the top of your screen.
Let's see what happens here on 2nd and 11. Well, Branham got his man, and taken down is Nick King.
Trying those quick outs and then trying to get the good block and then perhaps isolate up on with some speed and quickness to the outside. But right now, Boyle County just making all the right reads.
Well, for the majority of the time, the running backs and the receivers for Pikeville just having trouble turning that corner because, as you mentioned, the defensive speed is just too much for them. 3rd and 6 now,
Big
under
play.
5 minutes to play. And this is going to mean a lot for Pikeville here as Branham's going to work it under center. Play action. Throwing across the middle, ball tipped up, and that is going to be incomplete, and it looks like Boyle County will have another chance with the ball here, and 4 minutes left to go in the third.
Right now, Pikeville unable to muster anything offensively. They'll need the big defensive play. They'll need the big special teams play. You see a little bit of the emotion going out of the Panthers right now. Football's such an emotional sport.
These guys are going to have to spark it up. They're not out of the game. They're down 17-0, but absolutely not out of the game. When you can stretch the field like Pikeville can, they need to do that.
Stop some.
And here they come after the punter, and Walls just gets it away, and that's going to go out of bounds. And, boy, they came quick on that one. That's what they've been wanting to do for a while. We are going to take a quick break. Pikeville with a 17-0 deficit here in Game 1 of the Pike County Bowl.
Someday, when he grows up, Sammy Matthews wants to be just like his dad. His dad likes to listen to the radio while he shaves. So does Sam. His dad likes the crisp freshness of the fruits and vegetables he buys at Food City. He likes the variety and selection, too. So does Sam. His dad likes broccoli. Well, someday Sam's taste will grow up, too. Food City for quality produce priced the way you like. Because at Food City, we mean value.
All right, back to action here. That was Matt Quinn, who just took the handoff for Boyle County and got another first down in Pikeville territory. And not looking good for Pikeville's defense right now. They've got to get in there and try to stop these running plays to the outside.
Just excellent blocking. Point of attack that time to the top of the screen by Boyle County. And the Rebels are rolling right now. Of course, Pikeville never shies away from the top competition.
Absolutely
here in this
not.
Pike County Bowl. Somewhat surprising, though, they haven't been victorious since '95.
Duggins again, the counter and the reverse. Here it comes.
Oh.
And finally is going to be taken down after a gang tackle is Matt Miller, but we've got a flag on the opposite side of the field. 4 minutes left to go in the third.
Not sure. That may be a motion call against Boyle County. We'll see.
Block below the waist on the white.
Well, even better for Pikeville. A low block. They'll move this one back. Well, we were talking earlier in the game, the two players to watch. Matt Branham, the quarterback for Pikeville, and Bobby Lefew, who's an all-around weapon for Boyle County. He can come out of the running back position. He can play tight end. He can play linebacker on defense. And, Lefew, who's gotten his share of carries here and his tips of the ball. But, Matt Miller and number 20, Casey McCoy, really the big guys who are stepping up here for Boyle County, and that's why they have a 17-0 lead.
Boyle County fell out 15 yards for an illegal block.
Wonder if Boyle County maybe try and put the ball in the air, leading 17-0.
First and 25 with less than 4 minutes. Why not? And they're going to do it. The quick out pattern and overthrown there over Matt Miller's head. Just one of those timing pattern kind of deals there as Duggins just took the ball and hurled it toward an area on the field, but just over the head of Matt Miller. Well, the little guy has the arm to do it. It's just a matter of finding his receivers. But, when the running game has been working as it's worked for them so far, they're not going to shy away from it too much. But this is a time for them, if they feel like they've got this game in the bag, to experiment with their offense and defense a little bit.
Well, when I talked with Coach Smith, he said that the Pike County Bowl just a great opportunity for his young team. Right now they've got the lead. Let's see what they do with the lead.
Flag on the play already and down on the 50 there. But this one will probably come back as it's in the backfield.
That was a motion call that time.
Motion on the white.
I talked with Coach Smith at length, and he and Coach Chapman are familiar with one another. Coach Chuck Smith was the assistant to the Kentucky Football All-Stars in '97 when Mike Holcomb
on the white. Decline. Third down.
Was the head coach. So, of course, Mike Holcomb bringing John Chapman along. Of course, he was a longtime assistant there to Mike Holcomb, Breathitt County. And then in '98, Coach Smith was the head coach for the Kentucky Football All-Stars.
Well, the Breathitt County tradition over there certainly looks like it will keep moving right along. They're back again and ready to play.
Well, Early this decade, though, 1-9, looking like they were in trouble.
What a turnaround. Look at the screen pass there, but, you know,
oh, yeah.
He threw a lot of yards, but not to get many.
Nice job by Chase Gibson as he tries to bring back some of the emotion to the Pikeville defense.
Well, usually a screen pass, a quarterback will back up, 5 to 10 yards. Duggins took off down the field backwards, threw for quite a bit, but it still brought up 4th down, and he's going to punt it away. There goes the punt. Back to receive is Akers. He's going to let that one bounce. He'll pick it up on the fly, and he is going to be taken down. Broke one tackle, but got hit by a host of Rebels on the second time.
Sort of a dangerous play there down deep in your own end, but you like to see, if there are mistakes of aggression rather than the lazy mistake. And certainly Pikeville with no lazy problems here, but just sometimes you have the mental mistakes early in the year.
Well, that'll happen, and, it's an overused phrase, but teams gel. They really do.
Right.
I mean, you can't play. You have to play in a game situation a few times to see how different players are going to react in game situations. You can have a guy at practice who looks like he's not going to be able to play for anything, but he gets out in the game situation under pressure. It really counts. He gets out there and plays like a champion. Matt Branham, he's going to pass again, and he just loses the handle on the ball. They're going to call it incomplete.
Yeah, I think he wanted that one back as one of the defenders jumped right in the flight pattern, if you will. I'm really impressed with the Rebel defense. Don't know how many teams are going to put a lot of points on the board against Chuck Smith's defense. Coach Chapman must feel a little frustrated at this point just because of the lack of offense.
Well, it's been a rough few years for Pike County in the Pike County Bowl. Not to say a rough few years for Pike County. They were 10-3 last year and lost their first game in the Pike County Bowl. Went on for a 9-2 record after that. Across the middle, and that one was up for grabs, and Matt Branham probably got away with one right there.
Sure did.
He was just trying to force something.
Yeah, Gibson cut over the middle, but there were 3 white shirts right there, so it would have taken a Tim Couch laser to come up with the completed pass there.
Well, as we mentioned, Pikeville's last win came against Paris. That was in 1995 in the Pike County Bowl, 59-20. And then in 1996, they lost to Bardstown 28-6. And one they're wanting to forget in 1997 was a 70-28 loss to Ashland. And, of course, last year, 33-0 blanked by Breathitt County. Flag on the play again, and penalties not only slowing up the offenses and defenses, also slowing up this game.
Ineligible downfield on the red.
A lot of times when you try the old middle screen, that's what that call was there. You will see some of the linemen downfield.
Ineligible downfield on the red. It's declined. 4th down.
4th down once again for Pikeville, and they're going to have to punt it away. Earlier we saw a 4th down that looked like in the 4th quarter, and we thought that Pikeville might go ahead and try to do something on 4th down, but this time they're going to have to punt this one away. Matt Walls back in the game as the punter, and he's going to kick it away with 2:18 left to go in the 3rd quarter, and Pikeville down 17-0. That one's going to hit about the 50, and it will take the Pikeville bounce.
Takes a Rich has got his hands on it. He wants some action down there.
Well, Rich Johnson said he wanted to get a few touches on the ball tonight, and he got one.
He got the touch, and he tosses it back to the officials. All right, great job, Rich. I tell you, the sideline can be a perilous position.
It's amazing. We got all these guys out here, including myself, out on the sidelines every Friday night shooting a highlights for Sports Overtime. And so far, we've only had one semi-serious injury, and that happened, I think, in 1996 or 1995, I believe. And that's when Drew Diener was shooting a Leslie County game up in northern Kentucky, and a player hit him in the knees, and he clipped him and got an ACL out of it.
Did he actually go ACL?
He went. If he didn't get an ACL, he went with some strained ligaments. He was on crutches for quite some time, but he likes to claim ACL because it sounds much more manly.
Sure.
Well, Casey McCoy getting the touches, and certainly trying to make his way as the MVP of this Pike County Bowl. There will be one MVP chosen from the Pike County Bowl committee, and also we will have our player of the game. That'll come up at the end of this broadcast. Second down and 9 yards, a minute and a half left to go here, and a little change in the third quarter. And Jeff Duggins and the Boyle County Rebels certainly in control. And that might have been some jumping there on the defensive line of Pikeville. We'll see if they were drawn. And they may have been, because Boyle County looks like they're going to walk it.
We've seen a lot of laundry.
Dead ball. Encroachment on a red.
Or maybe not.
We've seen a lot of laundry on the Bermuda.
There have been quite a few yellow hankies thrown out on the field today, slowing up the game and, more importantly, really hurting the offense of Pikeville.
Kind of got to believe that Boyle County will want to quicken the game by keeping it on the ground here.
And that's exactly what they do. The first man through there for a first down for Boyle County.
They've got the 17-0 lead, and if they would choose to pass the ball, you're going to kind of stretch the game out a little bit and perhaps give Pikeville a chance to come back. So I believe you'll see them keeping it primarily on the ground as we go inside a minute to play here in this third quarter.
All right, less than a minute to go. 1st and 10 again for Boyle County. Duggins in the I formation here. Hands off to the man who's dotting the I, and that's Casey McCoy. And McCoy in a foot race, finally taken down there by Barrett Rogers.
All of a sudden, he's in the secondary, and he makes people miss.
Well, let's give credit where credit was due, I believe. That he ran through there, and he got... Well, he did definitely get the first down. He did get through there. It was, I believe, I called Casey McCoy. If it's not, it's Matt Miller. We'll give him, let's give them both the yards on the play.
Why not?
30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. 17-0 Boyle County lead. And as you mentioned, they're going to try to run a lot of time off this clock by running the ball. I formation again. Well, he didn't want to go down, but finally the Pikeville defense takes him down. And that is Matt Quinn.
Should be our last play of this third quarter. And, John, I don't know. Could be a tough fourth frame for Pikeville here.
We'll see what Pikeville will do in the fourth quarter as we come to the end of 3 here. 17-0, Boyle County with the lead. We'll be back with fourth quarter action after this.
There was a place when you were young, before the mortgage, before the fax machine, when life held only one expectation: fun, good, clean fun. Fun, pure and simple. The kind that lets you lose track of time and obligations. Maybe you've forgotten. Good, clean fun. Where the wind's fingers run through your hair, where you can dance on the water like a dolphin. Fun, good, clean fun. It's just a ride away on a Sea-Doo from Southeast Marine in Corbin and Somerset.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Rich Johnson back at the Pike County Bowl, where Boyle County leads 17-0. And one of the sponsors for the Pike County Bowl is Food City. They will sponsor our Player of the Game award. And if you look at players who have stood out so far, Boyle County's Matt Quinn has a 4-yard touchdown this ball game. Robbie Vonch returned an interception, 49 yards for a touchdown. Taylor Begley with a 39-yard field goal for Boyle County. That's how they have their 17 points. As for Pikeville, good play by Chase Gibson, especially on defense. He had an interception to start the second half, but a penalty pushed back the Panthers, and they were unable to score. And he also made a nice tackle before the running back got a full head of steam on a 3rd and 27 play. And, John, have you taken a look at the crowd? Who says live TV hurts the gate?
Well, it certainly does, and a full house here for the Pike County Bowl, and certainly a good thing to see. Belfry and Pikeville always bring the fans out, and Boyd County, a legion of fans they've brought down here to the Community Trust WIMT. Pike County Bowl, of course, as Rich Johnson mentioned, sponsored by Food City, who will also sponsor our Player of the Game. Our Player of the Game, of course, will receive a trophy, and chances are the Player of the Game, our Player of the Game, will be the same Player of the Game as the Pike County Bowl Committee chooses. So a lot of hardware to be handed out here at the conclusion of this one. Pikeville with 12 minutes to do something. They're in the fourth quarter. 17-0, they face the deficit here. The offense has had a little trouble getting going, but it's going to be Jeff Duggins here with the quarterback keeper. And the bootleg out there, and he is hit hard by Chase Gibson. So they're going to run a lot of time off the clock here in the fourth. Look for the majority of the plays to be running plays from Boyle County.
Now the opposite fives hit one another. Of course, number 5 made popular Kentucky high school football and football across the country. The Golden Boy, Paul Horning, number 5.
And probably Paul Horning would know the odds on this game. That's his,
yeah, he would.
He probably would.
You're exactly right.
Another bootleg there out of Duggins, and he's got it complete over to McCoy again.
Tell you, Casey McCoy could put a little bit of a hold on that MVP trophy the way he's played both sides of the ball.
And a late flag out of bounds, probably going to be unsportsmanlike.
That would be the personal foul perhaps on the late hit. Let's see.
Dead ball. Personal foul. On red.
Which is also unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, it is terribly unsportsmanlike. But, you know, Casey McCoy comes up with the big defensive play at the start of this game.
Saved a touchdown.
Personal foul. On red. First down.
So it should say at the start of this third quarter.
That's right. He saved a touchdown.
They could have turned the tide here. So, and he's made some big offensive plays as well.
He's dotting the I this time, and he's going to take the handoff again. Stop short.
Oh.
He's taking some hits out there, but, you know, I tell you what, if Boyle County wins this game, I think Casey McCoy is probably to thank for that.
Cooled off considerably for the second game. I don't believe in the second game.
With 10 minutes left to go.
Once again, great blocking, point of attack. The big guys up front. Patrick Bischoff. Also, Justin Anderson.
That was Matt Quinn that time with the handoff.
57, Tim Johnson. Big guys up front opening the lanes for the running backs.
More running, and look at him. I tell you what, when you get ahead of steam, you can push through that line, and that's exactly what he did. Matt Quinn again getting ahead of steam and just pushing the defenders back for a few extra yards. And Boyle County threatening to score again here on 4th down and goal.
I think you got to go for it here, John.
You have to. You're up 17-0. You might as well. And I have a feeling they're going to run it in. Let's see if I'm right. And I am. Matt Quinn is in there. And at the 9:30 mark, it appears Boyle County may have put this game out of reach for Pikeville.
Yeah, another one of those MVP possibilities. Matt Quinn has played extremely well, both sides of the ball. I would think, although he's picked up the TDs, you know, he's played exceptionally defensively.
23-0. Looking to make it 24-0 is the kicker, Taylor Begley.
You know, that name, Taylor Begley, that sounds like a kicker.
That's a kicker's name. Not a kicker's number. He wears number 89. Should be out there receiving passes, but he's going to kick one right toward the swimming pool, and it almost went in there had it not been for the protected net.
They've got the net up. Otherwise, it's in the pool.
24-0. 9 minutes and 30 seconds for Pikeville to try to get on the board here.
And now it's one of those kind of situations. I know the great Boston Celtic, Bill Russell, used to talk about, even when you're beaten, can you still get out and make the plays and try to set up for the next game? And that's kind of what Pikeville has to do here. This game is lost, but the season certainly isn't. So you're looking for the guys who are going to go out there and give you the big effort, despite the fact of losing here in this emotional and stands are packed Pike County Bowl.
Well, last year, Pikeville was blanked 33-0. The first time they never scored at least a touchdown in the Pike County Bowl, and really, they would like to get something going here, and maybe go into the second game with something positive offensively here.
Right.
We'll see if Matt Branham will stay in there, and I would think that John Chapman would keep him in there to get some work in. And you can experiment. And even on defense, you can experiment a little. You're down 24-0. You've really got nothing to lose here.
We talked about Jeremy Caudle as one of the Mr. Football candidates. There are a number of Mr. Football candidates here in the mountains, and perhaps we could talk a little bit about that here in the next few moments.
Well, I'll tell you, Quentin Henson down in Lynn Camp has definitely got to be one of them. He is number 32, and there's number 33, Jeremiah Akers, taking the ball down there to about the 25.
We've had the opportunity to see Henson the last couple of years, and I'm going to tell you, he is for real. He has just that style that says running back all the way. And, we saw a quote by Coach David Mitchell. What else can he do? He's running for a couple of thousand yards. But I think the folks will really enjoy getting the chance to see Quentin Henson on the scene. And, the last 4 Mr. Footballs have all gone to the University of Kentucky. And I want to allude to that point here in just a few moments.
And I'm afraid that if Quentin Henson wins Mr. Football this year, it's not going to happen for a 5th straight year. That's Barrett Rogers there taking the pitch. And he is taken down and slow getting back up. But Quentin Henson, he's been recruited by Michigan. He's been recruited by, a lot of top Division I schools who like the running backs. But I really believe that UK kind of said, well, I think we got what we need right now. And I don't know that they're going to recruit him anymore, which would be a big loss for the University of Kentucky.
No question about that. And, we also talk, we can't forget to mention Jeremy Skidmore from Middlesboro, as he has done just a tremendous job leading his team, one of the leaders, state championship last year.
Right. He's hurt early here in the year, not been able to play. Although Middlesboro came out with the win, they have a great quarterback who's backing him up. Reese, I believe is his name. So Jeremy Skidmore out for possibly 3 games right now. But definitely a Mr. Football candidate. 3 solid Mr. Football candidates. And, there's always going to be a surprise one pop up during the season somewhere.
Right.
Let's hope it's here in the mountains.
Yeah.
3rd down now for Pikeville. 8 minutes left to go in the game. Matt Branham still in there at quarterback. They're going to try to get him some work and just get him used to game situations. He's going to work it out of the shotgun. 2 slots and 2 wide, and he's looking for one of his wides. That was Nick King, and he is hit as the ball goes out of bounds.
Boyle County fellas are always there, aren't they, John?
They are.
I mean, there's just no relief in sight for the Panthers for this game. Boyle County defense sort of slipped. Well, you can't say slipped, but they didn't have maybe perhaps the fire they've got now the first couple of possessions. But you've seen that they've just simply shut Pikeville out.
Well, let's see. We've been talking about the University of Kentucky. Let's see if the Hal Mummy play will come into effect here on the punt. It's got to happen sooner or later. Let's see if Pikeville does it. Walls. Matt Walls to punt, and he does. And that one's going to go ahead right for the sideline, and it is taken down at the 35.
7:44 to play, 4th quarter. And Boyle County Rebels looking like they're going to give teams like Danville, Lexington Catholic, Harrodsburg. Of course, they've got Pulaski Southwest next week. And Pulaski Southwest, coached by Dale Anderson. And Coach Anderson and I, our paths crossed many, many years ago when he was an assistant at Trinity. State championships that we did there. And, boy, you talk about a roster tough to pronounce. Try Trinity.
I can imagine. New quarterback in now for Boyle County. It is Jacob Tam. He is in there. They're going to give Jeff Duggins a rest now. No use trying to get him in there and get him hurt.
Right, but Coach Anderson was at Trinity for a number of years, and I was impressed certainly by Jeff Brom. Of course, I'm not really sure who. He was backing up in San Francisco. I'm not sure if he's still at San Francisco, but until Tim Couch came along, I said he was the best high school player I've seen in the state of Kentucky. And to be honest with you, there really wasn't much difference in those fellas in high school. Brom was really, really good.
Another handoff there, keeping the ball on the ground for Boyle County. Now at the 7-minute mark, you talk about Pulaski Southwestern, Coach Anderson, and the Warriors. They were just a shade out of not being in our Mountaintop 5 this week. And I think a couple more wins, especially if they beat this Boyle County team as impressive they are, no doubt that they're going to make a run for the Mountaintop 5.
Coach Anderson, one of the best. And, of course, the Somerset area, another area where you find excellent football, you know, Class A, Class 2A, Class 3A.
Tam is intercepted by Chase Gibson. He's going to run it down the sideline.
Look out.
Takes it back inside and is taken down inside the 20. So maybe this will be the chance for Branham to get in there and throw for that touchdown.
Well, it's one of those kind of things where why in the world are we throwing the football if you're a Boyle County fan? But certainly you got to put the whole package in, and that's what the read said. So they put the ball up. Chase Gibson makes the big play. And Pikeville with a chance to salvage something here, perhaps get back in this game.
Well, nothing would be more positive right now except for Matt Branham to go in there and try to get a touchdown pass. We're going to take a quick break before Pikeville takes the ball. 6:24 left to play in this game. Pikeville down 24-0.
People from all over eastern Kentucky like shopping the Cardinal no-hassle way. Larry, what makes shopping at Cardinal different?
Cardinal knows that vehicle shopping can be an ordeal. We go out of our way to make it as convenient as possible.
I've noticed your sales staff is very professional.
Yes, they are, but they're very personable. We really stress excellent service at Cardinal.
Well, Larry, I've also noticed your selection is huge.
That's right. You can shop a big city selection right here in the mountains, and you'll save. Shop Cardinal Automotive in Hazard for the best in selection, service, and savings.
Love Homes in Iville, Kentucky is celebrating its biggest summer clearance sale ever, featuring top manufacturers such as Clayton, Norris, and Giles Homes. With our wide selection of new, pre-owned, and bank repos, you're sure to find great quality, prices, and low payments that won't go up. Come see Mike Kirk, David Conley, and Johnny Martin. Remember, that's at Love Homes, halfway between Prestonsburg and Pikeville in Iville.
All right, back here, 6:24 left to play. Pikeville with the ball, 24-0 the score. And Pikeville, after the interception by Chase Gibson here, maybe a chance to get on the scoreboard before this game gets over. Branham's going to work it out under center. The handoff inside there, and he lost the ball.
What a hit.
That was a great hit there, and Jared Frazier just lost the ball and has turned the ball over to Boyle County. Flag on the play, though.
In the area that would be, you know, some type of motion, perhaps encroachment, though, on Boyle County. Let's see. Illegal procedure.
On a red, penalty to decline. First down.
So finally the first down call there for Chuck Smith. He's been waiting all night to do that. He's been waiting all night to make that first down call on the mic.
Do you remember the fella who makes that call? I mean, I do. I know who that guy is.
Who makes the call?
Oh, well, he's not around anymore. His name's Red Cashin.
Right.
And
he just retired last year from the NFL.
Exactly, right. And he's from an area in Texas that I'm a little familiar with, Tyler, Texas, Hooks, Texas, right as you cross the Texas line there from Arkansas, home of Billy Sims, Hooks, Texas.
A great running back. Well, there's another running back that's going to try to grind out some yards. A new look there at Zach Halfley from Boyle County.
Red Cashin, one of the great officials of all time, and he made a tremendous gaffe in a Super Bowl and was on the wrong end of the field. And right before the kickoff, and the kicker was when the Eagles were playing the Oakland Raiders back in 1980, 81 I guess it was, and the kicker was Tony Franklin from Texas A&M, whom he knew. And he said, "Can you just slow up for just a minute and let me get to the other end of the field?" It was a hilarious moment. In the NFL, Red Cashin, one of the best. A great fellow in the community also who goes out of his way to help those less fortunate in his community.
Well, the NFL underway tonight, and probably right now, I'd say Tim Couch may have already taken a few snaps. We'll see what happens with the Minnesota Vikings.
Of course, myself being a little older, the Bengals weren't around when I was getting into this game.
Incomplete pass there from the quarterback, Jacob Tam, I should say.
But, I have to say that there's a lot of folks out there who are thrilled that the Browns are back, not only here in in Ohio, but in Eastern Kentucky. I know lots of folks, in particular, David Turner from McDowell, and Tom Stewart from Maytown, myself, we're all fired up that the Browns are back. I myself sort of dropped out of pro football when this happened, when they took away the Browns.
You're one of many. The punt is away there from Duggins. He comes back in for punting duty, and that was going to take a Pikeville bounce, and it's finally down there by Pikeville around the 20-yard line, and maybe even more, about the 15.
Good break for the Panthers here, and let's see what they can do. The fans really haven't had that much to cheer about.
Well, again, you really can't take away a whole lot out of the first game of the year for a team that is as young as Pikeville is, and some of the skill positions, well, maybe not young, but as far as just starting out in some of those skill positions. Jeremiah Akers, a great running back, also a great receiver. He can do it all. Matt Branham moves to quarterback for the first year. I think Pikeville really is a team that's really going to step up as the year progresses. Chase Gibson in there at wideout this time, and they're going to run it out of the eye again. The handoff there, Barrett Rogers, and he is hit hard again, and that seems to be the case all through this game. Boyle County, no matter what, first quarter or fourth quarter, they're going to hit these guys hard.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, they put the hat on the opponents.
We've got about 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go here in the game, and obviously this first one will belong to Boyle County and the drought for Pikeville in the Pike County Bowl. 3 years in a row now that they're going to have to go home with a loss. But just remember, last year they went home with a loss and ended up 10-3, losing to the eventual champions in the playoffs. I formation again. Akers in motion. Play action. Over to Gibson. Gibson's at the 10, at the 5, and he's going to dive toward the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown for Chase Gibson at the 4:09 mark in the fourth quarter.
And now you automatically must go for two. You've got to try the 3/8 equal 24. And so I believe you'll see Pikeville now going for the two-point conversion.
You sounded like a math teacher when you said that.
Well, that's what I do. I think I probably do this a lot better, though.
We'll ask some of your students on the broadcast. All right, and it appears that they will go for two. Branham in there at quarterback. Barrett Rogers going to run back to the sideline. That's Chase Gibson in there as they line up for two, and that is Branham back to pass, going for the end zone, and it just went out of Chase Gibson's hands. So it'll be 24-26 at 4:09 mark here in the fourth. All right, so here we go. 4 minutes left to go here. It's 24-6 for Boyle County.
Well, you got to go for the onside kick here.
And you really got to expect the special teams, you're right, to go for the onside kick. It's one of those things that you practice all the time. Let's see if they can do it in a game situation, should they choose to do that. And some of the Pikeville fans now heading toward the exits, but you know what? They're going to miss a great game coming up, and that's going to be Boyd County and Belfry. Of course, Belfry moving down to 2A from 3A. This year, and taking on Boyd County, who we really don't know a whole lot about, but if I'm not mistaken, Boyd County is in that new 4A district with Johnson Central, Perry Central, North and South Laurel.
Well, John, you're just really able to, almost like photographic memory, come up with these things. But, of course, Boyd County, just one of those kind of teams that hit you where it hurts. They're awfully tough. Of course, excuse me, their former coach, Ed Teeny Van Hoos, used to coach here at Pikeville.
That's right. Up there, move up on the river at Boyd County, and this year.
Now we have an onside, or rather offside, on the onside kick. And I believe well, let's take a look here. On the illegal procedure call, they'll reload 5 yards deeper.
Also in that 4A district is Clay County.
Massive amount of travel in some respects for the changing in the districts. And, perhaps we could talk a little bit about the Corbin-Middlesboro situation there. But,
they made this 4A district just for Eastern Kentucky teams. There is the onside kick, and it is taken by big Bobby LaFew. So kicked right at him. He'll take it across the 40.
Yeah.
But, they made this new 4A district for the teams like Perry Central, who was having to travel to the Lexington area.
Right.
Johnson Central moves up to 4A this year. North and South Laurel now playing in the same district. So that's always good. And Boyd County, kind of the team that really a lot of people are looking at. Obviously, Johnson Central, our number one team in the mountains so far in our mountain top 5, because they have the majority of their starters back, and they have included in that majority are 2,000-yard rushers. Coach Bill Music, always a great coach over there at Johnson Central, the former Everett's coach. He's been at Johnson Central about 8 years, I would guess now. So, it's one of those things where he's a good coach. He's got the players, and this could be Johnson Central's year.
Yep.
It's always easy to say the first game of the season.
It sure is. Once again, another city situation.
Fumble on the play, and that is number 88 for Pikeville, who I do not have on my roster.
Well, we had a new quarterback came in, number 10, Jacob Tammy. And
88 is Seth Scott on the Pikeville roster, who tried to come in for to recover the fumble, and he did.
Just a mix-up in the backfield as some new shirts get in for Boyle County.
So 24-6, exactly 4 minutes left to go in this game, the first of the Pike County Bowl, and day 2, game 1. Matt Branham still in there, quarterback. He's going to work out of the shotgun, and this is the time that Pikeville should really stretch the field and see what they can do, and they will. Branham back to pass. He's in trouble, and he is sacked, and sacked hard by big number 68, Travis LeFew.
No quit in the Rebels as they come on the blitz, and Branham unable to find someone free downfield.
Well, of course, Bobby LeFew there is a big guy, as is his brother Travis, but you can kind of see some smaller Boyle County secondary guys in there, and that's really the way to do it, get these guys some game time here in the fourth quarter. Once again, Branham throws across the middle, in and out of the hands there of Jared Frazier, and he's down.
Well, you still see some good hitting going on as number 16, the Boomer Johnson, 6'2", 182, senior defensive back, lowers the boom on 35, Jared Frazier. Kind of like that name, Frazier.
He's a Frazier, and he's going to, unfortunately for him, head to the sidelines with another Frazier right now and not see any game action tonight. Probably for the rest of the game. Might want to take that easy. 3 minutes, 22 seconds. Really no use for him to come back and try to get back in there.
Well, I believe he just got the breath knocked out of him. He's trying to get his breath back, but nice hit by the Boomer.
Absolutely. Branham again on 3rd and 14 here. 3:22 left, and he's going to go for the pass again.
Good protection.
Great protection out of the pocket now, and he's got his man, number 3, Matt Walls. Matt Walls with the completion there, but certainly short of the first down, and that'll bring up 4th down for Pikeville.
You know, John, in the coming weeks, we'll be bringing some college football to the fans.
That's right. Moorhead State. In September, we will show Moorhead. They will take on Davidson. I believe that's on a Thursday, the first week in September. And then on the 25th, that's on September 2nd. And then later in September, we'll have Moorhead and Dayton at Moorhead.
The Flyers.
The Dayton Flyers, a very good football team that you may not have heard of, but you'll certainly get to see here on WIMT. Branham back to pass, goes over the middle and into double coverage. Luckily, that one floats on out of bounds.
Boyle County basically dominating every facet. And they have a well-balanced team. And across the way, you see some of the fans there giving the big reception to the defensive unit, and I think they're going to be giving, some bigger receptions to that defensive unit during the course of this year. A lot of fans traveling the drive down from Danville.
And pretty happy with the result so far. They're leading, the Boyle County Rebels right now are leading 24-6 over Pikeville with 3 minutes and change left to go in the game. Of course, at the conclusion of this game, we will have our Food City Player of the Game trophy to be handed out, and Rich Johnson is poised to do that. The handoff there.
I tell you,
across the 30,
play.
and man, I tell you what, it's going to be hard for them to stop, and you're not going to take the ball away from him while you're down on the ground there. And that, again, is Casey McCoy.
That kid can play. Just a sophomore, and he has been valuable in every aspect.
And he could be the most valuable player. We'll see if that happens from the Pike County Bowl Committee, made up of all the guys up here on press row, and I'm sure a few of the dignitaries and other people that helped put this great bowl together. Community Trust Bank.
We've had great weather. Of course, always the threat of rain during this time of year.
Fumble on the play. We'll see who recovers it there, and it will be Pikeville as the snap just didn't get to the quarterback.
New quarterback there, number 10. It's Jacob Tammy. And unable to execute. Gives Pikeville one more chance. Big crowd on hand, sports fans, as you see across the way. And certainly in the end zone. Fans 2 and 3 deep.
And they're lined up against the fences all the way around the stadium. Hambley Complex, one of the great stadiums here in Eastern Kentucky for football and basketball. Boy, Branham's going to air that one out, and he's got his man Nick King just through the hands. Boy, that would have been 6 in a hurry.
I think you're going to see pass interference there. Look like 22 for Boyle County. That's Robbie Vox. Had his little bit of jostling with the receiver as they went downfield.
Unfortunately for Pikeville, you don't get the pro rule. It's not at the spot of the foul.
Right. 15-yard penalty.
It's just a 15-yard penalty.
Pass interference on a white. Automatic first down.
Well, I was looking for the first down, but I guess we didn't get it that time.
He's gotten out of his system. He did it. Chuck did it once, and he's finished now. He got his time in the sun. Matt Branham will be the quarterback. This ball will be on about the 46-yard line. 46. First and 10 now. 2:23 left to go. Pikeville down 24-6. Play action over to Nick King. Nick taken down hard, and there's another flag on the play. A big stop there from Travis Lefew.
I think we're going to have an illegal blocking infraction here. Pikeville.
Let's go down and get the call. They put the flag away one more time. I tell you what, this could be a record number of flags in a game that we've had on WYMT.
On the red, replay first.
So a clip will make that 1st and 25, and the ball will get moved back, and it'll be 1st and 25, ball on the 29. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left to go. Pikeville looking for one more score before calling it a night here in the Pike County Bowl. They're down 24-6. Again, Branham straight across the middle, nearly intercepted by Boyle County. Number 80, Quinn Alcorn, 6'4", 170 sophomore, nearly had the interception there.
Branham looks good with the toss. He gets back, sets well, and just simply unable to find an open receiver. Boyle County in the defensive secondary, there are some new shirts, but everybody seems to make the right read, and really very few open opportunities for Matt Branham this evening. I think he's going to learn a lot from this game.
I think he will. Well, he has Nick King there, and King loses the ball. We'll see if they call it complete. No, they call it incomplete. So probably a good thing there. It would have been a fumble and a recovery by Boyle County. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Sort of a long 4th quarter here. Maybe not so long for the Boyle County Rebels, but a long 4th quarter here for Pike.
You know, it could be long for the Boyle County Rebels because they like to just get this over with and go home. But chalk this one up as a W and go on home. We'll see what happens here. Branham with plenty of time throws it over the middle. A great catch there from Jeremiah Akers.
Another great hit, though.
Will they call it complete? The ball got loose.
I think they're Incomplete there. Incomplete. But once again, the pass is there, and the hit is delivered. I just see exceptional play by the unit that Boyle County puts out here on the field, no matter whom is inserted.
Well, you know, some of the younger guys certainly want to get into the books as they get in there. Quinn Alcorn, one of the guys who almost had an interception earlier for Boyle County, and Matt Walls now is going to be back to punt the ball away with 1:49 left to go here in the Pike County Bowl. Boomer Johnson again takes it. He's going to take it across the 40, and he's going to push his way down to about the 50. He has not given up.
And you see the assistants there right on the play. And I don't know, Boomer may have a little bit of a problem there. Let's hope not. But there he is getting up a little gingerly.
You can't hurt a guy named Boomer.
No, you can't. Not even if he's a quarterback.
Not even if his last name's Esias. Still can't hurt him.
You know, I was up in Cleveland watching the Browns and Bengals play when they would let you throw those objects out on the field. And the dog bones, you know, that were just flying out of the dog pound, hitting guys in the helmet and the whole works. It's a great, great game. Browns win it 14-10.
We'll see what happens this upcoming year. There are a lot of expectations out of the Cleveland Browns, but, you know, what people really need to understand is even though they're an old name, they're a new team, an expansion team, and, you know, if you get 3 wins, you better be happy with that, Cleveland Browns fans. If you get more than that, take it as gravy.
Yeah, I think so. I think 5 wins would be an exceptional season. And talking with a lot of people in the community, that seems to be the number that everybody's kind of putting on them. And being an old Cleveland Browns fan, I just find it amusing that a lot of folks are going with the Browns and not with the Bengals.
Well,
that's okay, though.
That is okay, especially when you got a guy from the mountains up there on an NFL roster. You really can't beat that. Less than a minute left to go here in the mountains. That's 24-6.
I love the Reds, okay? And what a year the Reds are having. And Jim Bowden deserves accolade after accolade for being able to field a team, take the chances that he did, and now things are paying off. Jack McKeon doing a great job as skipper, too.
How many people laughed at the Reds organization for the Sean Casey trade?
Right.
How many people laughed and said, who's Sean Casey? Well, a lot of people found out quickly. Another run up the middle there as they try to ground out the yards and grind out the clock. About 20 seconds left to go. 24-6 Boyle County, and Pikeville can only take away some positive things. You can't let anything negative dwell on your mind after you have lost a game to a team that's in a higher class than you. They're 2A, and they come in here. It's been a good game. They're going to call it a game as the clock runs down, and that'll be the final. Boyle County wins it 24-6 over Pikeville. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we will tell you who our player of the game is. Stay with us.
Cardinal Chevrolet Cadillac has been really busy lately. What's all the excitement?
We've got the new 2000 models coming, so we've been making great deals on the 99.
But what do you still have a good selection of?
99 sport utility vehicles, the all-new Chevrolet Tracker, and the ever-popular 2- and 4-door Blazer.
What about financing a new vehicle?
With 15 sources of financing and a special finance department, we can get our customers in the car they want for the payment terms they need. Stop by Cardinal Chevrolet in Hazard, Kentucky, and let us make you a satisfied customer.
Welcome to San Antonio's for the best ribs you'll ever eat, guaranteed. Steaks hand-selected, aged and cut on premises, prepared over an open flame and seasoned with our special spices. Mexican specialties prepared fresh from authentic family recipes. If you really love good food, good drink, and an honest good time, you'll always be welcome at San Antonio's, Prestonsburg, Pikeville, Betsy Lane, and Salyersville.
The promise of a new day, work to do, challenges to face, opportunities to grow. One thing we've learned on down through the years, you can't do it alone. That's why we look to Community Trust Bank for help with all our financial needs. They're people who care about our family, our business, and our way of life. They understand what commitment is all about. You know you're giving your best every day. Shouldn't you bank where they do the same? Community Trust Bank, building communities built on trust.
Does this sign concern you? It doesn't have to. I'm Jim Patton, president of J&M Monitoring in Pikeville, Kentucky. Did you know that all public buildings built prior to 1980 have certain materials which are presumed asbestos containing? We are licensed asbestos inspectors, management planners, and abatement contractors. If you have suspect materials in your building or you require any level of asbestos training or hazardous materials training, give us a call, 606-432-1910.
Fun, freedom, adventure. That's what you get with the new Bayliner Capri or Rendezvous from Southeast Marine. This is your time. Time to take life by the wheel and spin it around. To kiss the sky, park the water, and crank up the music. So bring your family aboard, call your friends, and head for the fun. Come by and see Rex or Dave at Southeast Marine in Corbin or Somerset. Or call them at 606-528-2628.
If you've been injured in an accident, you'll face many difficult decisions. One of the important decisions will be selecting a lawyer to help you. Before deciding, ask the attorney to show you their trial experience, their national ratings, and national board certifications. I'm Gary C. Johnson. I've worked more than 24 years building a reputation helping injured people. I invite you to compare because the lawyer you choose makes a difference.
Call Gary C. Johnson for a free consultation.
After a car wreck, it seems everyone has an opinion about what you should do. At Vanover Hall and Bartley, we know what the law says. We understand your rights under the law. As always, we focus on representing people hurt in car wrecks. Call for a free initial consultation. I'll be more than glad to talk with you.
Contact the law offices of Vanover Hall and Bartley at 1-800-437-4003.
Someday when he grows up, Sammy Matthews wants to be just like his dad. His dad likes to listen to the radio while he shaves. So does Sam. His dad likes the crisp freshness of the fruits and vegetables he buys at Food City. He likes the variety and selection, too. So does Sam. His dad likes broccoli. Well, someday Sam's taste will grow up, too. Food City for quality produce priced the way you like. Because at Food City, we mean value.
I love taking his picture. We've been married going on 35 years. The first time I saw him, I fell in love with him. And I was walking, and I heard somebody whistle.
She wants to keep me around, I believe.
I keep telling him about taking care of his heart. We try to exercise and eat right, and we start the day off with a bowl of Cheerios.
And that's good, because low-fat diets rich in whole-grain foods like Cheerios may reduce the risk of heart disease. Let whole-grain Cheerios help you.
Two good partners.
He's my soulmate.
Of driving a new car. Celebrate that feeling during the Ford authorized clearance with 0.9% financing plus $750 cash back on every 99 Contour, Escort, and ZX2. $1,000 back on Taurus. Either way, it's practically in your driveway.
That new car feeling is closer than you think at your best quality Ford dealer.
Hi, my name is Mandy. In my family, we take vacations seriously. That's why my dad thought we should get a new boat. But my mom had other ideas. Then, my mom came up with a great idea for a new car. But my dad had other ideas. I knew we needed help, so I called my friend.
Community Trust Bank, may I help you?
They said I should bring both my mom and my dad in for a visit. I did. I just know Community Trust Bank can help you, too.
When Jim Patton, president of J&M Monitoring, needed sound insurance advice, he called Accordia of Kentucky.
With Accordia of Kentucky, I found competitive rates when compared with other independent insurance providers. I'm very satisfied with the service I receive from Accordia. When it comes to insurance, I recommend Accordia of Kentucky.
Accordia of Kentucky, the best there is.
Someday when he grows up, Sammy Matthews wants to be just like his dad. His dad likes to listen to the radio while he shaves. So does Sam. His dad likes the crisp freshness of the fruits and vegetables he buys at Food City. He likes the variety and selection, too. So does Sam. His dad likes broccoli. Well, someday Sam's taste will grow up, too. Food City for quality produce priced the way you like. Because at Food City, we mean value.
And welcome to the Food City postgame report. 24-6 the final. Boyle County a winner over Pikeville in Game 1 of the Pike County Bowl. Let's go down to Rich Johnson, who has our Food City MVP player of the game.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm joined by Benton Nunemaker, the store manager of Pikeville Food City, to present our MVP award to Pikeville's Chase Gibson. 2 interceptions in the game, and he scored the Panthers' lone touchdown. The presentation.
Here you go, Chase. Food City's always glad to help sponsor all the local events for all the local schools and everything. And there's your trophy.
Thanks, sir. So we congratulate you, Chase, on a good performance. Personally, as far as the defense, you mentioned they gave up a lot of yards up the middle. As far as the offense, they struggled a little bit with it being the first game of the season. Where do you guys go from here?
I think we just keep doing the same thing we've been doing. Coach is teaching us the right stuff to do in practice, and we just got to keep working on it, get it down better.
As far as next week, you take on Prestonsburg here. What are we going to see from you guys then?
Pretty much the same thing. We're going to spread it out and throw it. We're going to see what kind of offense they run, line up, and defense get a reads. It's pretty much the same thing.
As far as last year, you guys struggled in the Pike County Bowl, but you proved that you can bounce back from this. What do you guys need to do in order to bounce back and to play well and get ready? Because it's a long season.
Yeah, I think we just need to keep working on what we're doing, perfect it more, and keep working on the reads, working on our passing game, get down our routes a little better, and our timing will be all right.
All right, we thank Chase Gibson for joining us, our Food City MVP. Now back upstairs.
All right, thank you, Rich, and congratulations to Chase Gibson, who was also voted the MVP for Pikeville by the Pike County Bowl Committee. 24-6, again, the final. Pikeville losing to Boyle County tonight. And Jim, again, Pikeville lost in Game 1 last year, went on to 10-3, so nothing to hang your head about.
No question about that. They did build some positives. There were some good hits in the ball game. Just in fact, they ran into the buzzsaw that was Boyle County. I think Boyle County